Hi, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Endless Celts Podcast. I hope you're all well. Who's watching along? Who's the snitch? Joe Finley, Christoph, Monty's in already, which is fantastic. I'm delighted to be joined by Ross. How are you, buddy?
No bad, mate. I wasn't I wasn't scheduled to be on the night, but a wee last
hmm
minute substitution. I became available, so thought I would step in and help the boys out a wee bit and talk some shite.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Looking forward. As you said, availability is just the thing that we'll have to keep asking because you never know what can happen, James. And I'm joined by James as well. How are you, buddy?
Aye, all good, mate. All good.
Nice, nice. What are we all drinking? I'm on the backs. Ross, what, Krasma or something?
Cruz, how do you get on the fucking screen? That's it. Cruz
Cruz
Campo.
Campo.
I can't. I just cannot do that. My fine motor skills are all over the place.
James, what are you on again?
Copperberg, mate. I'm letting the team down.
Aye, but what's the flavour? Tell the flavour. It's
I don't
mad.
know, it's Winter Punch, as I said to you, we shop up the road for me selling it off. It must be stock for Christmas or something, but it's no bad and it's £7 a case, so it'll do me.
To be
I
fair,
thought
mine was
Stephen was
six
going.
ninety.
I thought you'd went full fucking Craig David there. Peter Andre.
What?
Fucking dog.
Why?
What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour.
Well, speaking of flavours, Ross, obviously it's been up. I wouldn't say a slow week within Scottish football. There is some things to talk about, and I think we'll have to start with the most glaring one, in my opinion, anyway, is the VAR had their independent review panel come in and assess decisions that have been made over the course of the season. I think if I can get the headline up, there was 26 incorrect decisions within the Scottish Premiership over the course of the season so far. And what I found the most interesting thing was that apparently the club that's been done wrong the most has been Rangers. I mean, honestly don't know what they're watching or what they're looking at. Is the independent review panel just people they know out of the lodges and the people who march in the bands and things? You know, is it their friends and family and they're going to keep them safe no matter what? But what did you think about that headline? I thought it was a bit like, are you having a laugh here? Because evidence says otherwise.
I mean, I wasn't. Listen, the decisions have been and went, and we'll say it, we're blue in the face that we've been on the receiving end of more wrong decisions than what Rangers have, and they'll say that the other way about. At the end of the day, whatever the independent panel is, they've came in and looked at the decisions, but it's still just a group of people, men, women, whatever it is. It's still a subjective opinion, regardless. So, albeit they've come in and reviewed it, half of the stuff that they've said, what we already knew anyway, but it's still subjective. It's almost as if it's taking now that because they've said it, then their decisions are set in stone, right or wrong. They're still up for discussion for some people who sway the other way for what the decision was. And to be honest with you, the Hearts game happened. We lost that game, to me, due to circumstances out with football. Hi, Monty, how are you? But I'm neither up nor down, mate, to be honest with you. I'm actually getting a wee bit bored talking about VAR all the time. I know we've got to talk about it.
Fuck, isn't it?
I know, but I know we've got to talk about it for obviously the purposes of the podcast or whatever, and other people want to speak about it. But at the end of the day, I just we need to win these 4 games, and that is the be all and end all. We can talk about VAR and transfers and all the rest of it at the end of the season. But listen, I'll say it again. I'm neither up nor down, mate. The things have happened. Them saying it is not going to change it. It just gives clarity to what Brendan said at the time and what we all believed. And listen, they said that the pen that we got for Yang wasn't a penalty. I still think it was a penalty, but again, it's subjective. People's opinion. I think maybe some of you thought it wasn't a penalty, and that's fair enough. I can totally see why you would think that, but it's one of the ones you could just talk about it till you're blue in the face, but it's not going to change now.
Well, the people who are blue in the face actually got the most strong decisions against them, James, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? And by the way, Jimmy McElduff, evening lads, first time I've tuned in for a while. Great to have you along. Jimmy, back in the comments. Fantastic to have you on board with us tonight. Joe Finlay, independent review panels for everything that is difficult. SPFL, SFA, should man up or run out of office. Sam Fran, strange timing to release the panel's findings that show the Huntons as victims. No, I mean, there you go, there's Monty in it, you already. Who's the guy in Ryan's one bedroom? But where do you stand on? And look, I do agree with Ross in the aspect. Yes, we talk about VAR week in, week out, but it is a topic that is debatable. People want to get involved with it, and people want to say their opinions. And yeah, it is a bit repetitive in terms of what we go, like in terms of everybody what they go over and what they say, because the decisions we've all agreed in some instances are wrong, and some are right, some are kind of, as Ross was saying, subjective. But I think for this review panel to come in, I don't know, it's just it doesn't sit well with me that still the club that's got the most kind of wrong decisions against them was Rangers. I don't see that at all, and that's not me having the green glasses on or looking at this from a Celtic point of view. It's looking at this, I mean, I'll point back to the episode Alan Morrison did on the Celtic State of Mind with the whole VAR, the numbers, the graphs, the stats. It's there for everyone to see, but yet there's different conclusions across the board. Where do you stand on it, James?
Mate, I'm much the same as Ross, to be honest. I kind of get fed up because it feels as if we just say the same things on the season Monday night. No, but it's we say the same things hour and hour and hour again, and nothing ever changes. And it doesn't look as if it's ever going to change. Even taking on a kind of like the conspiracy theories and all that out it, just looking at it, I think it was McGinty that said the other day, we need to look at who's marking this as well. Who said it's only 26 or it is 26 or whatever the figure was. It's essentially them marking their own homework. So I kind of take it with a pinch of salt, to be honest with you. And like Ross says, a lot of it is subjective as well. Like you'll get plenty of people like the Yang red card. I know some Celtic supporters that thought that was a red card. For me, I don't even think it's a foul. So it is subjective in that aspect, but I don't know. It just feels as if up here they look for an excuse to use it. I mean, you look at the Champions League semi on the Tuesday night game, Bayern Munich. That had VAR, and you genuinely wouldn't have known it did. It didn't get a mention. There wasn't much use of it at all. The game was a much better watch for the better.
But James, does that not come down to the version of VAR that the SPFL use?
But that's what I mean. No, that's what I'm saying. It feels as if they just look for an excuse to use it up here. So I think it's going to be pretty much the same moving forward as it has been this season and the tail end of last season. Well, kind of halfway through last season when it came in. It's still the same issues. It's still taking too long. You still the offside things where it's miles off and you need to let it run, and it's just daft. There needs to be changes for the better. There's changes there that can be made literally overnight, and it would make the game a better watch as well. But I don't think we're going to get anywhere near where we want to be until we get probably full-time referees and just a better quality of referees as well.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And there's a lot of comments in here saying get rid of the SFA and VAR. And to be fair, Ross, we're probably lagging behind the product that we have at our disposal in the top league in Scotland in regards to the Champions League semi-finals and the versions of VAR they use across European football. I think we have literally the Wish version, and that's funded majority by Celtic Football Club. But just quickly, Jed wanted to know, Ross, how was the golf today?
Well, I actually didn't get to play. I had to pull out of the golf the day for personal reasons. But I'll get another game at some point. But last minute I had to pull out. And that's how I ended up being on the podcast, because circumstances changed today.
Yeah, the review panel had a go at Ross, and we had to put out some stuff. But I mean, there's been news this week as well. Obviously, Crawford Allen is leaving his post as head of referees in Scotland at the end of the season. Ross, and a former English Premier League ref, John Moss, I believe, he refereed in England for over 15 years, FA Cup finals, refereed. Obviously, I feel like I'm copying the news headline, but the biggest names in England, which is true. But he's apparently for his hat in the ring for this job. is that a welcome sign that it's not someone within the current organisation that we have at the moment, in terms of it could be a beating, it could be who was the guy retired, Bobby Madden, who had previous, obviously, interest and was a referee in Scotland for a long time. Is an outsider welcome from the English Premier League, or is it still the same kind of system issues and right to the core of the problem is just hiring another puppet, so to speak, to do that role that Crawford Allen failed at quite miserably?
So you're saying there's a guy, an English guy,
John
you're saying
Moss, who
coming in to
refereed
do
England. Well, is the favourite to get the new job that Crawford Allen's
and
leaving.
he's an ex-referee.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Well, I mean, listen, it's a guy who's coming in. He's not Scottish. He might not have skin in the game as such. Well, I'm not shit at golf, but that wasn't why I bought it. He's maybe not got skin in the game as such. It's not to say that he doesn't sort of sway one way or the other. But again, it's not something I've gave a great deal of thought about. I don't really get too involved in that and have too much an opinion on it. But they need somebody to come in and take over for him, whether that be this guy or another guy or a Scottish guy or somebody within the SFA already.
Do you not think that there has been calls for foreign referees to come in? And look, I know England and stuff, and the kind of stigma can be attached to people down there. Obviously, we don't know their backgrounds, but it is a new face, not within the current organisation referees that we have. So could that be a welcome thing?
Aye, because for that reason, it's a new face, it's a fresh face. He maybe come in with fresh ideas. What that may be, I honestly don't know what that sort of role fully entails. All the ins and outs yet. But aye, it's a new face. As I say, might have new ideas, and we just need to see what happens if he gets the job. But I mean, it can only whoever comes in can only improve on the current state at the moment, I would have to say, because it's not great. But I mean, we talk about getting foreign referees in, we talk about maybe making the refs full time and all the rest of it, but I don't see, listen, it maybe makes it better. I don't know, but I don't see how it solves the problems entirely just doing that, because you look at England and their refs are full time, they're well paid, and they're still making as many mistakes down there, if not more, to be honest with you. And they've got all the things at their disposal that you would say on paper that you need to make it really good. But again, we go back to VAR, and it's human error still. It's still humans working it, and they're not using the technology properly. It's the human aspect of it, it's not the technology. But I don't know. We'll see if this guy comes in, as I say. We'll see what he brings, see what happens. But it can only get better.
Can only get better.
We're all singing the songs tonight.
We are singing the songs indeed. James Floyd, our governing body is a joke to everyone outside and in Scotland. Totally agree. So does the dog again. But James, you look at it as well in terms of, like what Ross is saying, it could be a good thing, but again, England are making the same mistakes. But what I think the difference is the transparency. There's a trail. You can follow it back to a decision being made, someone taking accountability for that decision. I know Howard Webb down there is very, very strict, and he's not afraid to wield the axe, so to speak, and kind of get rid of people who do wrong or kind of demote them into different leagues. And in Scotland, that's a big thing for me. There's no accountability. I mean, when Rodgers put the complaint in against Dom Robertson, he was a part of the next two games involving Celtic. In any walk of life, you're like, is there no demotion there? Is there no kind of take a week off to calm yourself down and get back into the swing of things? So accountability could be a thing that this ex-referee John Moss could bring into the Scottish game.
I like you say, like the stuff with Don Robertson. I mean, I'm sure after that Hearts game, it was reported that the SFA stood by him and said he got the big decisions, or he got every big decision in that game correct, which obviously is a stance they seem to have kind of taken a step back for within literally a matter of weeks. So it is a weird tune, but in terms of the guy John Moss. I know, obviously, I don't actually think he's that long retired.
No, 2019.
Aye. So in terms of just being a different face, then aye, as you say, like fucking Bobby Madden and all that. I mean, I think he'd probably sooner appear on Love Island than being a referee. Where you carry his own these days on Instagram and all that stuff. So, aye, it's just good in that sense that it is somebody a bit different. But as we said, it is only rumours now. So Bobby Madden could still be welcomed back into the fold.
I mean, to be fair, we end up with a few dollars from the Turkish League because there's a shambles over there at the moment anyway. But I mean, Ross, could you do me a favour? Could you click your comments again and just let the comments disappear? Don't go on banners or brand. Just click comments and it should disappear.
Aye.
Yeah, so you're full screen now. You can't see anything. James, can you come off your comments as well?
Aye.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take a wee bit of a wee side road here in the comments. Look, I'm not ignoring you. We're just going to do a bit of who am I? Then I'll come back to see who got the right answers and things. And look, it's another score process, so we'll carry on right to the quiz at the end. Seamless link and translations, eh? What else can we say?
James will beat me again, and I'll just say the wrong answer and get a point.
Paisley the Panda, I've no forgot.
Was it not the Livingston mascot? Well, I thought it was a Livingston mascot.
It was Livy the Lion.
Leo the Lion.
Leo the Lion. Right, so player number 1.
Leo the Lion.
Who's this?
Johnny Hayes.
Ross, over to you.
I bigger gut than me.
See, to be fair, them skin tight tops do not do a lot of justice for people, do they?
I know. I'm just because of the tattoos, I'm going to say Scott Brown, but
nope. Back to you, James.
Because of the tattoos, I said Johnny Hayes, but I think a wee kind of curveball one might be Clamara.
No, it's not Kamala.
Fuck's sake.
Right, hold on. Right, I'm going to open it up here. Obviously, there's clues that are needed in the comments. There's people answering already, which is embarrassing for you two. But give me a wee second. Right.
Oh, I know who it is. I think
it's Ross's go.
Oh fuck.
So
Ross's go.
I played for Livingston at the start of my career.
Yes.
Can comfortably say.
Lee Griffiths.
Wow. Do you know the mad thing is? I'm looking at the comments and no one has even said Lee Griffiths. It's crazy. I don't think they have. Monty's just come in with it. Is that what you're locking in, Ross?
Aye.
Easy guy. There we go. It's Lee Griffiths. Great shout. That's 1-0 to you, Ross. Second player. Who's this?
That's
Paul Hartley.
Paul Hartley, aye.
I'd have to go with James. He said that first.
Aye, that's fine.
That was quick.
I knew it was Paul Hartley.
What was it given away?
I've seen that picture before in that stance.
Wow. The Pirlo. That's 1-1. 1-1 here. Third
I should
player.
have went in quicker with that.
That's what we all say, mate. It doesn't happen like that sometimes. Who's this?
Gary Caldwell. That's I want to say as well.
Wrong. Ross, yourself, mate.
See, I was going to say Gary Caldwell, but the strip. I think the strip's too late for him. Which is evidently is because that's not the answer.
By the way, over 60 people watching us live at the moment, which is fantastic. We do appreciate that. Monty, it's not Lee Naylor. Jed, it's not Robson. Joe Finley got Griff. Great shout, by the way. But no answers as to yet for this one.
Do you
want a clue, Ross?
Well, that's not really fair because you go for the clues after the first two guesses.
Sorry, it helps you out the time anyway. Just go for it.
I'm just going to go, and I don't think it's right. Hinkle.
You're wrong. I'll give you the first clue, okay? I played for Dundee United between 1995 and 1998. James, it's over to you. It's your shout. It's one each. It's one each, isn't it? Yeah.
95 to 98. Did you say?
Yeah, 95 to 98. Strange of the Doctor. No, it's not Johansson. Although I could see that.
Fucking. Jeezy, Peepsy's name's in my head. Fucking centre half. Fucking that's shocking. Presley, Elvis.
Do you think so?
Aye.
There we go. It is, in fact, Elvis. 2-1. Great shout. Also, by the way, great Googling, because I can't see your face, so we don't know what you're doing. Right, 2-1 to James. Final one. Yeah, make sure I've got that. Now, there's 2-1. So there's 2 players in this, so there's 2 points up for grabs.
All right. Fraser Forster and the fullback, what's his name again? Ball and goalie.
James?
If that's right, and that's what I would have said, I'll go. Is that strip's too early for Barkas? I think. I can't even. I'll go Barkas and Bio.
Wrong. Ross?
Is any mine right?
I can't say right now, but
all right.
That's
right. I'm still gonna go Fraser Forster, and right. I'm not gonna go Fraser Forster because that's ball and goalie. I try to think another goalie. It would have been about that time.
It can only get better. Don't worry, comments. I'm not ignoring you. I think we're nearly getting there.
What's the boy that's away now? Who did you say, James? Barkas.
Barkas, aye.
And ball.
Still no one's got it right in the comments.
Ball and goalie and Hazard.
Wrong. James,
Foxtrot.
what about yourself?
If we don't get any of them right,
I can't say. I can't be like that because you know what I mean. That's not fair.
Well, I'll go.
Not fair.
Scott Bain and. See, I think it is ball and goalie. Scott Bain.
I think it's ball and goalie. Like. It's not Scott Bain either.
There's no more fucking goalies. Fucking Ronnie Simpson and.
Oh god.
Oh fuck. Right, you have one more shot each. I can't really give clues on this one because it's
right.
like.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to.
It's a European game.
I'm going to change tack then and go.
I think we've missed a tap in with the goalkeeper. The stance, I think, might have just gave it to me.
So the funny thing is, James, like I don't want to say it just yet, but I will say it if he gets it wrong here.
I'm going to get it wrong. Just wait.
So there's 2 points up for grabs. It's 2-1 to James.
I'm convinced that's ball and goalie. I'm convinced that's ball and goalie. So, but if it's not, let's just change tact, right, and go. Fraser Forster and Boyata.
The goalkeeper is 1,000,000% the goalkeeper is Craig Gordon. So I'm going to go Craig Gordon, and I'm sticking by fallen goalie.
And you're 100% correct.
First time.
Man, I didn't think Gordon played the ball and goal.
I've just
So it's actually
the two previous answers were.
it's
That's unbelievable.
4-1. 4-1 to James. And by the way, Gordon's one of your favourite goalkeepers, Ross. What happened to him?
I know, but I just didn't think he played in the same team as Ball and Goalie. I thought it was Fraser Forster. I thought he'd came in at the same time as Ball and Goalie when Lennon signed him. But there you go.
Jed come in. Hazard and Edward, no. Strange Love, no. That's Bargas telling Ball and Goalie to fuck off. Strange Love the doctor, for fuck's sake. But look, that was actually quite entertaining. We've got another wee thing coming up shortly. But Ross, I can't believe you fucked it in Craig Gordon. That's why I was laughing so much. That's why I was laughing.
Because you got 100%. They played together.
They must have a couple of games. I can't remember it. I just found the picture, like, to be fair. But Ross, Meada, you say we talk about VAR, lad. We're talking about this guy quite a lot at the moment. Norwich have come out this week, and according to multiple news outlets, sources on Twitter, their asking price is starting at 5 million quid. Would you? Would you sign him? Would you? That opens that up to so many avenues, doesn't it?
I know. I was actually. I'd stopped myself asking the question there. 5 million. I think it's a fair chunk of money. To me, he scored big goals, Meada. And he's done. I said when we signed him, if he comes in and gets 6-10 goals in this run-in and helps us along the way to a league title, then he's come in and done his job. So, I mean, we've not quite got the league title yet, but he's hit that figure. I think he's got about 7 or 8 goals now, which means he's come in for me and done the job that he was probably asked to do. My thing is that because he scored such big goals, and he scored 8 big goals, he's a big moment player. He comes up with big moments. But for me, his all-round general play is lacking. Listen, Brendan Rodgers could get that out of him in time.
Mm-hmm.
But to sign him as he is now,
what's lacking from his play? What do you think's lacking from his play?
It's hard to pinpoint exactly what's lacking. I think that I think he's got ability and he's good at holding the ball up. I just don't think he does it consistently enough. I think he fades out of games and disappears. But then you have to say at the same time, in the box, he comes to life. He came to life in our own box last week, but that's another thing. But listen, I think Meada is a good player. I really do. I think there's a lot of potential in him. I think £5 million is a big chunk of money. Whether we keep a hold of Kyogo, which I think we will, then you're essentially saying that, excuse me, you're paying £5 million for a backup striker. Now, probably in this sort of market now, that's the going rate, if you like. We've not me personally, but a lot of people have slated Celtic for going down that sort of bargain route, too low fees, it's a bigger gamble, and I understand that. You know what you're going to get with Meada. Listen, that's how I feel about it, but Brendan Rodgers talks very highly of him. He does fit that sort of mould that we need in terms of he's as close as you're going to get to Giakoumakis, probably. I don't think he's as good as Giakoumakis yet, but he has got age on his side. I wouldn't be absolutely adverse to signing Meada if there was somebody out there that we could get that we know is more ready-made, if you like, and we can get him for around that price. And he, like the scouts have said, look, this guy is better than Meada. Don't worry about it. And our scouting department is obviously where it needs to be now, hopefully. Then I'll trust that. But at the same time, if Brendan Rodgers decides that he wants to bring Meada in and he is getting sort of full autonomy, if you like, on signings, and he decides that Adam Meada is the man that he wants, then I'll trust that as well. I can only make a judgment for what I've seen. I think we can all agree that he isn't the finished article, far from it, but there is a lot of potential there. If we signed him, I would be happy enough, but I wouldn't be ecstatic.
No, I kind of get what you mean there. And the strange of the doctor basically backs up what you said. He's 23 and a Celt, so although not the finished article playing for his team, he will have that extra 10%. Only a supporter has it, will drive the development. And look, the way I base it as well, Ross, and I do agree with you in the essence that his overall game, I don't think is fantastic. I think Joe Finley was saying about his wee flicks. He does too much of that for me. Instead of doing the simple things and keeping it in and playing whoever making the midfield runner or the wingers in. Sometimes them tricks can be a bit kind of frustrating when all he has to do is that simple things, James. And I look at the likes of Jada and Carter Vickers and this loan to buy experiments that the Celtic do every couple of windows now, and they come in for £6 million. Is Ida going to make that same impression on the first team? Same kind of stardust that Carter Vickers and Jada give us? I don't think so. I think like Ross has said and Jed said in the comments, I think the inflation of the market now is really pushing that kind of $5 million fee for a player, in my opinion, who hasn't done anything fantastic. Yes, he's contributed and scored a couple of important goals for Celtic, but overall, I don't think he's been amazing. And that's mad to say. And his stats are something like 7 goals in 12 games, or whatever it may be. I look at it as well, and I'm going to get it again. I think O is every bit as good as Adam Meada. I think the flashes that I seen of O in the Champions League games, in the league games that he got a chance in, when Rodgers first came in, he looked okay. He looked very quick. He looked athletic. He looked like he was building his physique up. He was linking up the play, and he was spreading the ball out to the wingers really well. Yeah, his goal conversion rate is not the greatest, but I do think, there is a player there. And people will say I thought that about Burnaby, but look, Burnaby's a different kettle of fish. I was more doing that to wind up Ross over a course of a couple of months. But I mean, well, I'm a talent spotter, to be fair. But I think Ida, for all that he's done good, I think equally he's not really pulled up trees. I wouldn't sign him. If I had to make that choice, I wouldn't sign him.
I think that's quite harsh, to be honest. Look, I say that, and then I'm going to qualify it with saying I don't think we should sign him either. But I think since he's come in, look, my expectations with that signing were absolutely through the flares, I think, as it was for most days. But as we were obviously discussing this the other day, and I actually went through and I looked through Google to see the scores. And since he's come in January, he's outscored Kyogo. He does get 7 goals to Kyogo's 5. And I think Ida has probably had considerably less game time than Kyogo. When he comes on, apart from last week, he does tend to make a positive impact in games. And I do like him. If the asking price was maybe kind of between 2 and 4 million, then I would sign him up. But if I'm totally honest, I don't know. I know like Kyogo's a brilliant player, but I think Kyogo has to play in a team that suits him. Like we've seen with Angela, everything was revolved around either getting the ball cut back to Kyogo or getting the ball into the winger coming in at the back post. That was how we get most of their goals. And I think this season, look, as I say, this isn't a slight in Kyogo. He's brilliant, but he's obviously not been the same player as he was last season and the season prior. So I think there is potential that, I think initially they will come in as a backup player, but I think probably in the maybe more medium term, there will be kind of ideas of getting him in as the number 1 striker. And like throughout Rodgers' kind of career, there's always been that kind of powerful central striker. No a target man as such, but just somebody with a bit more kind of power than Kyogo has. You think back obviously to Dembele and Eddie, and then down south, even Jamie Vardy kind of fits that mould somewhat at Leicester.
Well, I don't think Jamie Vardy fits the powerful striker mode. He's quick over a number of yards. I wouldn't say he's an out-and-out kind of bustling centre forward, to be fair.
Aye, but I mean, in terms of strength, I'd say he's a lot stronger in terms of holding the ball up than Kyogo would be. Obviously, Kyogo's kind of like qualities lie elsewhere. But in terms of Meada, I think he's come in, he's totally surpassed my expectations. I think there's definitely a player there, but I just don't think at 5 million it's probably worth it. And I'll go back cover not.
Well, James, see you mentioned Kyogo and the suitability for Rodgers' team. I've seen a lot of kind of Twitter activity, or X as it's called now, saying that maybe Kyogo might be leaving in the summer due to this. And look, I don't know where it's came from, but I think if you look at the season that Kyogo's had, yeah, he's still popped up. I think he's 15, 18 goals and a couple of assists to his name. He's still proved vital in some games, but like what Ross said about Alameda, he vanishes within games, and them 2 to 3 touches that he would have had in a Postecoglou team were important, but the 2 to 3 touches that he has in a Rodgers team are basically they do nothing because he's trying to drop deep and get involved with the play. Where, like you said, James, in the Postecoglou era, where we're whipping that ball in quick, it was one touch out of his feet and into the back of the net, and he wasn't really thinking about anything. Where now you see him chasing the game, he's coming into the false 9 position, he's trying to get involved that way because we're not playing the quick, incisive passing that we did under Ange, and that's not going to overrule ground, by the way. But what I'm trying to get at is it so far-fetched, the idea that Kyogo might not feature as much or heavily in Rodgers' plans, that we as supporters hold Kyogo to that kind of high regard, the striker we've loved for 2.5 years? Do you think his time might be coming to an
end? Potentially. As I say, probably. I don't think we'll. I think we will start next season with Kyogo as our number 1 striker. Don't get me wrong in that front, but I think maybe as the season goes on, and this is the point I was kind of trying to make in January, when we had the debates about Miofsky and things like that. And
Ross is getting backed up here.
But I was all for signing Miofsky in January, laying down the 4 million or whatever it was Aberdeen wanted at the time. Don't get me wrong, I know he scored against us, he scored against them as well, but he's not had the greatest second half of the season, obviously since January. But I've totally lost my point. Kyogo. My point at that time was, like you're saying, like Kyogo was and still is gone missing in a lot of games. And the point that I was trying to get across was, if we signed another striker, and I think it was Gav that was saying, but you're only signing him for 6 months and then, like you're saying, just get the league on the line. That wasn't what I was saying. I was saying, like, I think if you gave like Brendan Rodgers for the option of a striker in the mould of Kyogo or a striker in the mould of Miofsky or Meada, he's taking Miofsky or Meada all day, every day. And I think that was bore out with the fact that when Meada came in, it was Meada that was getting the jersey. Meada was getting the starts as soon as he was in the door. It was like the first 3 or 4 games he was starting over Kyogo. So I think like we will sign that style of striker. I don't necessarily think it'll be there, because I think we could potentially get better for the money. In my opinion, I think Miofsky would be a better option, to be honest. Obviously, I've been on about him for long enough. But if we signed either Meada or Miofsky, I don't think they're coming in straight away to be the number 1 striker. I think maybe through time, they would take that jersey.
Yeah. I think it's everything. Time will tell. And Jesus, by the way, Bex is so gassy. I nearly burnt my lungs up there when I was going to speak, to be fair. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. And strange of the Dr. Kyogo is where he always is, directly in front of goal, waiting on the ball. I'm going to say one name, and then I'll move on to Ross to give his opinion on what you just said, James. Theo Burr at Motherwell is going to be sensational. I'm going to say it. I've said it in the chat so many times. He's 13 goals after coming off a season at St Johnstone where he scored 1. The guy has a lot of development to do, but he's tall, athletic, and quick, and he's caused us a lot of problems in the past. One to keep an eye on. Maybe not for us, but for an Aberdeen or something. But Ross, you look at it in terms of Kyogo. I think, to be fair, you're probably one of his kind of biggest fans, like we all are on the podcast, in terms of what Kyogo can bring to the team. But can you see the kind of detriment to us not playing to his game, kind of getting him involved in the areas that he should be in? And if you look back to that goal he scored in the Champions League, Atletico Madrid at home, wasn't it? Him and Meada right at the edge of the box, lovely ball in, and a toe poke finish past that Oblak in the net. That was peak Kyogo, but he's never really reached the peak that he had in the previous 2 seasons over a consistent chunk of games this season. Is that a worry for you? Can you see him maybe drifting out of the first team altogether?
I don't know. I think. Listen, I understand the point that James is sort of making there, but I think, given how poor our recruitment was in the summer, I think we all know that now. We've all admitted that to ourselves. I think a lot of why Kyogo hasn't been as effective as he has been in previous seasons. I think that the early part of the season, our wingers, as he's have all said, were coming inside all the time, and that doesn't suit Kyogo. But I also don't think that was the style that Brendan Rodgers was asking them to play. I just think that is the type of players they were. I think there was a wee spell. Obviously, he did lose his place when Meada came in. I think because we were going through a rough patch and Brendan Rodgers was wanting to try something different, and he had that option. He'd been able to try something different. And for a wee bit, it did work. But then we got Meada back, and he was more dynamic. Kuhn came into the team and had a bit of form. And you seen for a wee spell that Kyogo was getting more goals, and they were playing the sort of cutbacks, hitting the byline. And Kyogo was effective for a wee spell. But then that has sort of tailed off a wee bit in the last maybe 2 or 3 games again. And you see that the Kyogo sort of falls out the game. I can't sit here and say that I think Kyogo won't be sort of mid-term our number 1 striker. But I also totally agree that Brendan Rodgers, whether it's Meada or somebody else, will bring that type of striker in like Meada, because you need that variation. I think Brendan Rodgers likes Kyogo, and I think that depending on what happens in the summer, I probably expect us to sign another couple of wingers. I don't think Brendan Rodgers is fully happy with the wingers he's got at his disposal.
No one is.
Listen, I've made a case for Yang and saying that there's potential there, and I still do believe that, but Brendan Rodgers has not got time, and Celtic have not got time for a wait on Yang's potential coming out. We need players to come in that are going to do the job now to help us on the way to another title, hopefully, to help us in Europe, because we all know we should have done that last season and last summer, and we didn't do it. But for me, I don't think it's a style issue per se with Kyogo. I think it's
you think it's personnel, don't you?
Personnel for the most part, and I think people have said, I think there was actually a couple of folk in the comments have said tonight that I think you even said that there, Stephen, that Kyogo he sort of drops into that sort of 10 role, if you like, and I think I don't think he's been asked to do that. I thought earlier in the season that maybe he was getting asked to do that. Certainly after that first game of the season against Ross County, I thought that is a definite tactic, but it possibly was at the start of the season. But as times went on, I really do think that the only reason that Kyogo's doing that is to try and get involved in the game and get a touch of the ball and try and affect the game in a positive way, because at the times, as I've said, the wingers were coming inside and he wasn't getting the service, and he's still not getting the service. Listen, Kyogo has went off the boil. He's not quite the same player, but I think not being involved in the game as much as he would like is not helping him. And I think it purely boils down to personnel and service rather than style. But 100%, Rodgers does like a bigger, stronger striker. I cannot argue against that. But he has Kyogo right now, and Kyogo has done the job for Celtic over a number of seasons, and he's been you have to say, for the most part, he's been a big game player for us this season. But he is 29, so whether it be this season, like James says, sort of mid-term, or even into the following season, you might, Kyogo is eventually going to leave. But I think for me, if Rodgers gets that bigger striker in the mould either, then I think Rodgers will not be as, what's the word, maybe as stringent as what Ange was in terms of Giakoumakis couldn't get a look in because he was all Kyogo. I think Rodgers,
like a pecking order,
but Rodgers will use the squad more than what Ange will. So I think that in time, whoever it may be that comes in there, whether it's Meada or somebody else, I think you'll see the chopping and changing. It won't be. You would still perceive Kyogo as the number one choice, but I think that he'll go between the two players and use the squad more over the course of a season, and it'll probably even out that Kyogo will probably still get more starts, probably, but it'll be closer than like Kyogo playing all the time and them just coming off the bench in games. So time will tell on that, but for me, it's a personnel and service issue and not a style issue for me on Kyogo.
To be fair, I can see that point because when Kuhn came onto his game in Meada, they were breaking the lines and getting the ball in quicker, which obviously helped Kyogo in that instance. But when you're playing with Palma, who cuts in 9 times out of 10, and on the other side, whoever it may be, I mean, James or whatever, the service isn't just as quick, James. I do understand what Ross is saying.
I get that, but surely if you've got wingers that are cutting in as opposed to getting to the byline, surely that is in some way a change of style though. Because like if you watch,
no, when you go.
No, I was just going to say if you watch Ange, any of the wingers under Ange, like it didn't matter who it was. Even like, don't get me wrong, Haksabanovic would cut inside and have a shot, but like the majority of our goals, they all came. Like we've seen like a bad at the back post against Rangers, or the amount of times it was just Kyogo in the 6-yard box for a tap in for a cutback. A lot of your goals were like that. So if the wingers are then changing how they're playing, be it coming for the manager or they're doing it themselves, surely that constitutes a change in style.
Well, I don't believe so, because I understand what you're saying. We got a lot of goals under Ange by hitting the byline. Abada was ghosting in at the back post. Jota was getting to the byline, putting cutbacks in. But that's because that's the type of winger they were. Whereas Palma has not got any pace. So he's forced to come inside all the time. I don't think he's been asked to come inside. I just don't think he's got the pace to go by his man on the outside. He has to come inside, and then I think that becomes a personnel issue. I don't think Rodgers is saying to his wingers, come inside. Palmer's just coming inside because he's tried 2 or 3 times to go down the outside, and he can't beat a man on the outside unless
Too slow.
He's got maybe Greg Taylor overlap him, but Rodgers quickly realised that Greg Taylor can't do that, and then started playing him in that more inverted fullback role. Whereas on the other side, you see various times this season, and certainly in the more recent past, Alistair Johnson has done that overlap on Kuhn, and he's played cutbacks into the box, which not only Kyogo has benefited from, but Adam Meada as well. You've seen it in the game at Fir Park. Sure, it was the game at Fir Park. Adam Meada benefited for that cutback. So, I mean, to me, that isn't a style issue. I just think it's personnel, because the 2 examples I've given, one is coming inside all the time because he can't go on the outside, and we've got a fullback who can't go on the outside either, so it narrows the pitch. On the other side, we've got Kuhn, who has shown in fits and starts that he can go on the outside, but he's also got Alistair Johnson, if he can't, to overlap him. That's just how I see it. But I totally see it where you're coming from, where you could think it's a style issue, and Brendan Rodgers is asking him to do that. But I just see it for the other side, that it's a personnel.
No, I mean, I actually agree with you, to be fair. I think by and large your wingers are ranked rotten, to be honest. I think there is obviously investment needed there, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't think that Rodgers knows how to get the best out Kyogo. Because even like going back to pre-season, like we've seen in Japan, like we tried Meada up front, and then like you're saying, the first game of the season against Ross County, Kyogo was dropping deeper, and that was something that we'd never seen before. He was always on the shoulder or cheating the offside, as they say. So I think that like there's definitely been a change in the way that Kyogo, it's certainly at the start of the season, was told to play. And I think that's bore out with obviously the performances that we've seen. Like, I know I'm referencing friendlies, and that's when you try different things, but it did carry into the start of the season. And I don't know, like we've said, like he becomes anonymous for large parts, and then he can pop up with a goal. And like, I'm not having a go at Kyogo. I love Kyogo as much as the next person, but I don't think that. I think Kyogo is one of the players that if he moved, it would need to be a very specific team that he moved to. If he went to a kind of middle of the table relegation fodder team down south, I think it'd be a waste of money for them. He needs to go somewhere that he's going to kind of be the man. Do you know what I mean? Like he's going to get the service. And
a team that's going to be on the front foot all the time and have the lion's share of the ball.
Exactly. And to be honest, I just don't think that Rodgers knows how to get the best out of Kyogo. But as we've said, like maybe the fact that he normally has a different type of striker, maybe that does play into it as well. But it'll be interesting to see the striker front going forward.
Well, you look at it as well. Who do you have over Sturridge? Didn't Balotelli come in? Suarez. Obviously Suarez is the profile of like a Vardy, but he was tenacious, and we all know his history. Iheanacho at Leicester, Dembele, Edouard at us. So he does have the history of a kind of bustling centre forward, as my granddad would say, Ross. And if you had to kind of round off this bit, if you had a choice right now, if someone said to you, let's say, £5 million, Bojan Miovski or Meada, who would you take?
That's a tough one, by the way, because
no, it isn't.
But we've seen what Meada can do in a Celtic jersey, and I've only seen what Miovski can do in an Aberdeen jersey against us. Listen, I really rate Miovski. I look at it, and I don't know who it was that said, used the Vardy example. I think Miovski's, I'm not saying he's as good as Vardy, but he's in that mould where he is strong, but he's also pacey, whereas Meada is more the Giakoumakis type. I don't know. Fuck me. I don't know. I would probably lean towards Meada. I don't know. I can't answer it.
Well, I mean, for me, I'll tell you who I pick. I pick Bojan Miovski, and for the reason, because if Bojan Miovski, this is naive of me, but if Bojan Miovski, James, could score over 20 goals in an Aberdeen team that have relatively been pissed this season, played a defensive style of football, and only really hit teams in the counter-attack, and that includes the teams around him in the bottom six, they're horrendous, let's be fair. He's their saviour. He's probably the reason why Aberdeen aren't in a relegation playoff place or aren't literally fighting with Livingston for relegation at this moment. That's how bad their season's been, and he still managed to break that 20-goal mark. I look at this, and it's the old cliche that you are speaking about Kyogo going to the team on the front foot. If Bojan Miovski came to us and we're on the front foot, the majority of the time, maybe not European level, and we create the chances we do over a period of time, Miovski would be 25, 30 goals plus, I think easily, quite easily in this team.
I like Miovski, obviously. He's kind of know, but I just think, look, I like Meada as well, to be fair, and to be honest, I don't think that Miovski, I think we'd get Miovski for less than 5 million. I reckon.
Yeah. I just use that as the base.
Aye. No, that's fair, but I think just, look, he's not had the best kind of second half of the season, obviously, the Neil Warnock factor and things like that, Aberdeen will play into it, but I don't know, it feels as if nearly every time he's played against us or Rangers, be it home or away, it tends to put in a decent performance, and more often than not, it feels as if he's scoring. Obviously, earlier in the season, he scored a couple of goals in Europe as well for them. Frankfurt, PAOK, and I can't mind the other team in the group, but decent performances in Europe. And I think that last season, obviously, was there as well, and it was that Duke that kind of took the
I liked Duke. I really liked them.
I was the same as well, but for me, when players like that in the SPL, they need to do it over a kind of a longer period of time, because you do get a lot of kind of flash in the pan players, and I don't even think Duke's a starter for Aberdeen at the minute. So, I'd be Miovski all day. If it was, to be fair, if it was Miovski or Meada for 5 million, I'd take Miovski. But as I say, I think you'd probably get Miovski for probably about 3.
Do you think so?
Ross is near sleeping. I heard that.
I think it'd be 4 or 5 million, to be honest with you.
So do I.
See if you'd asked me this question in January, it's Miovski all day long. I still, I wanted Celtic to sign Miovski in January, but now, you made the case there, Stephen, saying Miovski, the amount of goals he got, or he's got, 20 goals or something. But then you look at
plus European goals, right?
Look at the goals Meada's got, and he's not even been starting. So that's why it's a tough one for me, or a tougher decision than it would have been in January, having not seen Meada play, and you were getting, or you would have perceivably been getting Miovski in on a permanent deal. But again, it remains to be seen, and it's out of your hands.
I just don't think. Sorry, mate. I just don't think that a player playing in a bottom six team in Scotland that won't have European football next season is going to go for 5 million. I just don't think that's.
Well, to be fair, I'm maybe basing that off if we'd signed him in January, you would have been looking at 4 or 5 million, I think. But it's maybe decreased now because of that. That's fair enough.
I think though as well, Dave Cormack is minted, and I think he wants to hold fast for a decent transfer fee. Right. And by the way, rightly so. Let's be fair here. And Felix is coming in. Farnod already looking for him. He reckons 6 million. And for Miovski, I agree with Ross in terms of the fee won't be as low as 3 million quid. I think we missed that boat. We could maybe done that in January, a quick fire sale between two clubs in the same league. That could have been probably achieved. And I think it's a good debate that to have. We'll probably have it again towards the end of the season about Meada and Miovski. Do you know what I mean? But look, I want to break it up a wee bit and do a wee bit of, can you guess the missing headline or the blank? Remember in Question of Sport would have done it. They put it up and you had to guess the thing. Anthony Dunn, if we sent Miovski in January and he had the impact that Meada had, we'd be saying we bought well. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But I'm not saying we didn't do well getting Meada in. I don't think anybody's saying that. I think we have done well getting Meada in on a loan, but I'm not saying don't sign Meada. I'm just saying if we did sign him, I would be okay with it, but I wouldn't be ecstatic because I'd be wondering, is there somebody out there who we could get that's better?
Exactly, and let's be fair as well. Anthony's probably doing coursework, so he wasn't listening to the rest of it. But, you know what I mean? But like, we'll come on to it here. Missing headline. By the way, some of these they're not football related. It's just a bit of crack. It's 4-1 to James, right? We'll start with missing headline number 1, or blank. Fill in the blank. That's what we should call it.
Right.
Missing plane found on the.
Missing plane found on the Hudson River.
Nope. Jesus.
Missing plane found on the fucking roof. I don't know.
Fucking roof. I don't think there's print fucking like.
Ross.
Are you going to put that out to me again? All right, okay.
It's just we're going round a couple of times. So I think it's funny. I mean, fucking roof. That's top fucking roof.
Missing plane found on the moon.
And it is indeed missing plane found on the moon.
Right. No way! You've made that up. That's not a headline. You've made that up.
I swear to you, that's a headline. Right, so it's 4-2. 4-2. By the way, I don't even know why I'm quizzing you on it because even to know it, it's a bit nuts. But Ross knows it. So fill in the blank number 2. 10 years ago, Ronaldo made me a millionaire. Now I blank. Want to come?
I know who that. I think I know who this is about, but I'm not sure of the headline.
Other side of the moon, Coach Maestro. Motorway. Hopefully, no fucking way. Made him skint. Aye, on the skint. I'm fucked. It's not any of them. It's not any of them. But you know, this could prove mental.
I think this headline is about that Rangers supporter who won the lottery years ago.
Okay. And what was the headline about? Do you remember?
Well, I think he blew it all. So now
10 years ago, the lotto made me a millionaire. Now I am on the brew.
No. Although, I mean, the answers, I would say, worse than the Brew, but you know. By the way, by the way, just to clarify, no offense to anyone on the Brew. I mean, it's just mess.
10 years ago, the lotto made me a millionaire. Now I.
Well, if you know the headline, Ross, you're fucked. You haven't even got past the I bit.
Now I.
I'm doing crypto.
Now I sell crack cocaine to my mom.
That's a weird income stream. I mean, to be fair, I think we can go past this one. I don't think he's getting it. The headline is, and by the way, it's 4-2 to James still. 10 years ago, the Dado made me a millionaire. Now I suck off dogs for quavers.
Can we just clip that out there? Just let Steve reading that out.
I mean, there's absolutely only one paper that was in, and it's the Daily Sport.
Headline number 3. Oh fuck! Do you see it?
Aye.
Hey, we'll skip that one. Right.
Seen it in the cover.
Headline number 4. Inventor killed by electric blank.
Whisk.
Cheers.
Wow. I mean, if they got the death sentence in America, that would be perfectly answered, James. But no, it's not that. Ross, try one more time. Think long and hard about it.
Light orchestra.
Stephen hasn't a clue what that is.
I don't know. But see, I laugh and support the people in the podcast. See, if I done something like that, it would just fall flat.
I just see the empty, the look. I was like, he's not got a clue. What was it?
It wasn't dildo. No.
Inventor killed by electric.
Wasn't toilet either. There's a lot of dildo people in here tonight. No, but James, what about you?
That was another band, by the way.
What was the band?
Are you ready?
That's your man jumping all over the world, isn't it? I know that.
Aye.
Yeah.
Inventor killed by electric. Nah.
Are you done? Right, okay.
I'm done.
Guitar.
Inventor killed by electric bum wiper.
Stephen, you are the most random guy ever, man.
It's incredible. Right, still 4-2. I'm going to do this every time I'm on. I'm such cracked on it. Right, headline
no pun intended.
4. Alright, there we go. Tiger pulls blank.
Pudding.
Pudding?
Tiger pulls a birdie.
No. I like it though. James, what about you? This was actually this was quite recent. Strange enough, so close. No, Maestro.
Tiger pulls hamstring. Aye, golf injury.
No. Is that a golf injury? How do you put a hamstring playing golf?
What muscle do you pull playing golf?
That definitely your hamstring. Ross, what about you?
What muscle do I pull playing golf?
I don't want to know.
Depends how good the shot is.
He's give up.
Tiger pulls
out.
I was going to say over, but
it is. Tiger pulls out. That's 5-2 to James. 5-2. Last headline. Right, let's make sure right. Tiger Woods plays with blank. Nike says.
Balls.
Oh, hold on. Can I give you that? I will give it. Tiger Woods plays with own balls. There you go. Decent. I know my personal favourite was this one. I mean, to be fair, incredible, isn't it?
What, are you meant to play goal for somebody else's boss or something? How does that work?
Right, that was good crack. So it's 5-3. So Ross, you can put it back in the
5-3.
quiz at the end. So you could in the comments, Monty, don't think so. He will fix this one.
Oh,
We've done a pint. What's that? What the hell? Title list? I don't know what
Titleist
that
is
is.
a Mickey ball, or
Oh, right.
that was a golf
Himself.
mate.
Alligators. No, that was good crack. Like a bit random, but just to break it up a wee bit.
Very
And
random.
that's it.
It was very Stephen.
That's it. Mate, exactly. That's why I love this so much. But like today, I was looking at stuff that they talk about, and a few wee interesting stats come up, Ross, around Alistair Johnson, and he appeared in the top 10 tackles made in the Champions League, and that's for me. It says Celtic were on the back foot quite a lot, but they'll be only in the group stage, and he still makes that list. I think it is a testament to himself for getting stuck in and doing his job as a defender. Now we look at the left-hand side. Most recently, Aberdeen targeted that side in the cup semi-final. Junior Hoyle played 2 identical balls or cross balls into the box. They scored from them. One was McDonald, the other one was Selkler. Again, great crosses, but we do have a deficiency on the left-hand side. Do you think the way we spoke about a physical striker for the top end of the pitch, do you think AJ's prototype in terms of being 6 foot, athletic, good build, gets stuck in? Do you think Rodgers might be looking for the same on the left-hand side to take over from Gregory?
No, according to his press conference today.
I didn't
But
see it. What happened in his press conference?
he was asked about Greg Taylor, and he said that obviously because I think his contract's running down, and he said he would love to keep Greg Taylor at the club. He's a brilliant professional and all the rest of it. Just the usual sound bites. But
Yeah.
Listen, I'm vertically challenged myself, so I like to defend Greg Taylor.
To be fair,
It's not just about that.
But you're going on about height and stuff like that.
you grew a bit too fit for the last time you were on, to be fair, because you can start shooting this time.
Hold on.
Okay, man.
Hello?
That was,
Hello?
Looked as,
do you know what?
looked as if you were standing in a hole the last time.
I'd adjusted the way the screen sat because I wanted to do the comments, but the first time I'd done it, all you could see was my finger on the screen on it. It looked terrible. So then I put it on a couple of wee books, and it was a wee bit too high, but I didn't realise I was on. I was like, I can't even bother mucking about with that. So I just kept sinking. But I've got it. I think I've got it just right now. I'm like fucking Goldilocks. This is too high. This is too low. This is just right. But anyway, Greg Taylor. Listen, I totally understand that teams do target him with that high diagonal ball, and if you've got enough quality on the ball, it can be dangerous and it can get at us. But Greg Taylor brings a lot of good qualities as well. And you asked the question there, would Rodgers be looking for someone in the mould of Alistair Johnson? I really rate Alistair Johnson. I think he's brilliant. Goldilocks. I think he's brilliant. But there was a spell this season where he'd went off the boil a wee bit. And all of a sudden he was getting written off and he was shite and all the rest of it.
Well, I don't think people were saying that, were they?
I heard folk saying that. I fucking went mental at folk. But anyway. Listen, I would absolutely like to, well, of course I would, because we've nobody else. But we need to get somebody in on that side to at least challenge Greg Taylor for that left back berth, because he's got nobody challenging him, and he basically had nobody challenge him earlier in the season, even when Bernabei was there. So we need to address that position, whether it be in the mould of Alistair Johnson. Listen, I totally take your point that Greg Taylor is quite slight and small. Going forward, I think in spells, when he gets played in that inverted full-back role especially, I think it suits him, and I think he is a really good weapon for us, certainly domestically. Could we get better, and should we get better for going into Europe? Absolutely. But you could almost say that for just about every position on the pitch.
Of course,
Alistair
of course.
Johnson is a very, very good player. I really rate him. But is he good enough for the Champions League? You would probably have to say, on the evidence, that he wasn't. Albeit he's put in a few good tackles, like you've said there with that start, which is good. But, like, Celtic, to be ready for the Champions League, they could improve in every single position on the pitch, because we showed last season and the season before that we aren't Champions League ready. We can compete to a point, but when it gets to the getting over the line, we lack that experience, that nous, and that killer instinct. And that's not just Greg Taylor. That's all over the pitch, as I said. I'll defend Greg Taylor to again.
Can I ask you a question?
Blue in the face. Aye.
Can I ask you a question? Because I know you're a big Greg Taylor fan, and look, to be fair, I've kind of changed between about Greg Taylor during the season, because he has had some good spells within the team, and he is probably one of the leaders within the team, although it's crazy to say, but he is. Rogers has said that before. But you mentioned the inverted fullback position. Now, we were talking earlier about style changes and all that type of stuff. Is Rogers compromising with Greg Taylor because he actually can't do what he wants him to do as a traditional fullback and get up and down the line and overlap like a Tierney, like an Alistair Johnson? Is he compromising to keep Taylor in the team because we don't have an alternative? Because, like you said, he's a great player in that inverted role. He started off as a midfielder, but that's not, to me, a Rogers style. Because on the subject of styles, I don't think he really ever done that throughout his whole career, playing that inverted fullback position with a. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? Is he compromising to keep him in the team?
Well, I think he done that on occasion with Leicester. I can't remember who was playing in that position, but I think he did on occasion. I don't think it's what he absolutely wants to do, but I mean, I can't say for sure because I'm obviously not Brendan Rodgers or part of the coaching staff. But listen, he could be compromising, but and you would have to say, I would have to lean towards it. He maybe is, because at the start of the season, like you said there, when he first came in, he wasn't playing the inverted fullback role. Yeah. I don't think he was. I also don't think he was playing the out and out overlapping fullback, because I think we all already knew that wasn't his strength. I think Rodgers has probably been in the market for a left back, and it's just for whatever reason he's just not signing anybody for a body, knowing especially that he's got Greg Taylor there who can do a job. And he's a good player, but we need to address that position. I don't know if he's compromising or not, though. But as I've said, I would probably err on the side that he maybe is a wee bit. But for me, Greg Taylor is a very good player, and I really rate him. Listen, I totally concede that we can get better, but again, I'll say it, we can get better all over the park, apart from maybe Carter Vickers.
Well, yeah, because that would be fucking way into the price range to do that. I think the Celtic board were having nosebleed trying to play upwards of whatever they needed to replace him, to be fair. James, where do you come in on it? Obviously, Ross, he's a big fan of Greg Taylor. He's never had that fact, and that's fair enough. He's a good player. I think he's solid at domestic level. He can do a job, like Ross said there on occasion. I just think when you looked at that Aberdeen game in isolation, it was a pure weakness on the left-hand side. We're going to come on the scales later, but just to keep it on Greg Taylor for now, I would like to think...
Can I just comment back on that a wee bit there? You don't keep, but twice you've said now that was a definite weakness on that side of the pitch against Aberdeen. Mm-hmm. For me, I think it sticks in your head, that goal that we lost at the end, where... Again, it was on that side. The cross comes in for Alistair Johnson's side, by the way. But I don't want to slag him either, because the problem came for Palma playing the stupid ball and trying to be too cute. And then everybody's out of position. Everybody's starting to push up the pitch, and they're out of position. So I don't think you can really put, as much as I've said Liam Scales has went off the boil as well, I don't think you can totally poke holes in them and really highlight that position all the time in that game, because I don't know if you can still hear me.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. I don't think you can really highlight that position. I think that goal sticks in a lot of people's minds, and they're highlighting it and saying that left-hand side is a real problem.
It wasn't.
Listen,
it was too
it's aye, but that goal itself really,
Aye.
for me, it's highlighting it as if that was a real issue in that game, and the problem comes from Palmer giving the ball away, and then everybody's not set.
Yeah, I think there is, to be fair, maybe 3 or 4 opportunities before the ball gets in the box. They either close it down, intercept the pass, or get closer to the man. AJ, like you said, is prime example. He should have been out quicker to Junior Hoylett to close him down. And by the way, I thought Hoylett had AJ on toast, but when he came onto the pitch, but looking at it from the left side, Maestro comes in. James, in the Champions League, we weren't far off it, like Ross was saying. We should have took Lazio at home. The problem has always been the left side. Do you kind of concur with what he's saying? Do you feel that side needs improved on?
Aye. Even under Ange, look, Greg Taylor was really good under Ange, but if we're being honest, although he was a left back, he was playing pretty much everywhere bar left back at times, and he was doing it well. But I think as your kind of conventional left back, Greg Taylor is about as average as they come. I don't think he's particularly good. Look, he's done well for himself. I know I'm kind of digging him out, but he's done really well at Celtic. But I think, look, I know we're referencing the Aberdeen game there, but I think that pretty much every game it is the left side that gets targeted. I mean, even at Parkhead, we'll probably see it the Meada. When we've got teams under pressure and they can't try and play through, they just need to absolutely launch one up the park. 9 times out of 10, it's done like the left wing. They're looking for somebody to run on because they probably fancy him against Greg Taylor. It never tends to be done the right hand side or even straight through the middle looking for somebody. In fairness, in recent times, that, like you've said, they would shoulder some of that with Scales. In recent times, Scales has been the bigger issue to them, absolutely. In terms of his contract, I would sign him up. I'd give him a new deal, but I would also look for somebody to come in and take his place. I'd have no issue with Greg Taylor being our backup left back. But I think if we're serious about improving, which we obviously won the last summer for one reason or another, if we're serious about improving and having a proper go in Europe and just generally being the best version of Celtic that we can be, then I think the 2 places in the team that we need is, well, goalkeeper as well, obviously with Hart retiring, but outfield players, it's got to be a left back and a left centre back, and then obviously wingers as well. Yeah, I know, as I said that, and latter wingers are shite as well, but no, generally speaking, it would be the left side. Like, even the left side in terms of winger as well, the full left side of the team for me needs improving.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying there. And I mean, looking at it from obviously the outside in, as we do, like Ross said, we're not parts of the coaching team. It is the left hand side, like you said. James is targeted. I think Maestro said a Fetty go at home, Lazio done us down the left hand side. Obviously, that's a higher level than domestic. But just want to come to you, Ross. James said something.
Sorry, Stephen, but okay, see, just on that as well. Sorry. Listen, I know that he keeps saying that the left side's targeted, and it is. I totally accept that. And at times, it's because of Greg Taylor's height. When he is back, they target it because they know that if they can get that ball over his head, if they've got a good winger who can bring it down, then he can get in behind them. But at the same time as well, I think it's targeted domestically more for a different reason, because I think that Greg Taylor, his defensive duties are sacrificed a bit because of what he gives us going forward, in that where he comes into that, as we say, inverted full-back role, and he can play the penetrating pass through, or he can play the cross ball in, and I think they sacrifice him, and he is up the park, so that if the ball does get turned over, then that area is vacated. And I think that's why a lot of the time you see a Liam Scales coming over and having to do that last ditch slide tackle and put it out for a throw, and he's covering Greg Taylor. And I think sacrificing him domestically defensively in the games against, I don't want to say the lesser teams, but I don't think you see him sacrificed as much against Rangers, and he's caught with that ball. is what you do against the lesser teams, because I think he finds himself further up the park more, and then they target that out ball into that space where it's vacated, and then that's when you see Liam Scales coming over to cover him.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I thought you were going to keep going there. But what I wanted to say to you, James did say, and by the way, see in terms of what you're saying about the left back position being sacrificed, I do get that in essence, but does that not come back to the fact that we spoke about there earlier? Is the compromise Rodgers is doing that in front of the full back position? Therefore, it's vacating an area that wouldn't be vacated if you played the traditional full back. So there's two ways you can look at that. And I also think Meada and Taylor link up really well. That's the strongest we are down the left side when both of them are playing, because Meada can cover Taylor and vice versa. But James was saying something there about Greg Taylor basically being look, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, James, but it was kind of substandard or standard left back just for what he does. Do you think he's just a standard one in terms of domestic level?
I think he's pretty average, to be honest. Under Angie was fantastic when he was doing the inverted role and things like that. But I think that look, if we're and again, it probably sounds as if I'm digging out Greg Taylor, and to be fair, at times I have. But I think if we're serious about improving, I mean, we could go through the squad 1 to 11 and list all their positives and say we really like them and they cost this much or they would cost that much. But if we're serious about improving, we can't just keep signing players for the bench. We need to sign players to come into the first 11. And Greg Taylor would be one of the casualties for me. And that's not to say Greg Taylor's horrendous. He's shitting goals left, right and centre. But if we're serious about improving, then we can't just keep saying, he was good for us 2 years ago when he played the inverted role, and he's not getting asked to do that role all the time now. So if he's not fitting how the manager's asking him to play, you can't just coast on the past. We need to look to improve. By all means, no come onto the bench, have him as a squad player. Totally agree with that. But I just think that maybe a wee bit of sentimentality comes in. No specifically Greg Taylor, but certain players in general. And I just think if that's the kind of way we're going to look at it, then we're just going to keep going around in circles and never really get anywhere.
By the way, I totally agree with what you've said there, James. See me pushing back on you and defending Greg Taylor. It's pushing back on like instances and the way you see how he plays for Celtic, and it's me pushing back.
I wasn't digging.
No, I'm just qualifying.
You were,
James. Basically. No, I know you weren't, but I'm just sort of qualifying that as much as you're saying, off the back of what you've said there, that we can't keep like the sentimentality and stuff like that and just signing guys for the bench. I totally agree with that. That me defending Greg Taylor is not me saying that don't go out and improving Greg Taylor. Absolutely go and do that if we can do it and there's somebody available. And Greg Taylor, if he's going to be our guy on the bench, what a guy to be able to bring off the bench for games, for a bit of experience. But I will caveat that and say that Greg Taylor has been such a really good performer for Celtic for the most part over the piece of his career at Celtic, that going out and getting that player who is better than Greg Taylor is very difficult to do, and it's been proven time and time again, because we have went out and tried to sign guys and they've not been to the level, and that's the issue. But if we can get it, 100% do it.
Even kind of like historically, well, in kind of recent history, left back is where we've struggled. Obviously, with Tierney and Azagiri the first time around, it's not really been great in at left back. By and large, obviously, the signings that we've made. One thing
that annoys me, do you know what I mean? And I know our chats on a Friday take different turns in that, but it's good crack. Not that it annoys me, but it's saying, it's like a safety blanket saying to me, there's a risk if we try and improve on a position. There's a risk if we try and improve on this position. Look, we know we've had ball and goalie and people of that ilk that have come in to challenge Taylor in the field, and that's testament to Greg Taylor. But Ross, you said we can improve in every area of the pitch, and I totally agree. But I think there's realistic areas of the pitch we can improve within a budget, within what we can spend. So if you look at Kyogo, isolation here, you're talking to replace what he's brought over the last 2.5 years, maybe 9 to 10 million. That's a wee bit unrealistic. Carter Vickers, probably the same bracket. But a Taylor, to me, 6 to 7 million on a properly scouted left back. Like you said, Ross, if the recruitment team's in place to do that now, then hope they are. But doesn't that, to me, is the ambition we should be showing? The realistic side of the positions that we can upgrade, do it. It's a risk. It's always going to be a risk. And I think we kind of go back to, yeah, he's been good, he's done the job, but we need more than that now. We need an upgrade, and we need to push forward and get to that next level.
I'm not saying it's a risk at all. I'm saying it's difficult to replace a guy who you have said yourself is one of the main guys in that dressing room, and he's been, for the most part, a very consistent performer for Celtic. I'm not saying it's a risk to go and get somebody at 6 and 7 million. Go and do that and scout it properly and go and do it. But even at that, I still think that it's a very, very difficult job to replace what Greg Taylor has brought to us for the most part over the piece. It's no easy. It's probably slightly easier than, like you've said, a Kyogo, a Carter Vickers. It's easier than that, but it's still not easy. And he's still a big character in the changing room, and he's one of the leaders. He's one of the guys that after, I think it was the Kilmarnock game when we drew 1 each, he was one of the guys standing next to Cal McGregor, being a voice, talking. That's just what he is. And 6-7 million on paper we should be able to bring somebody in that has got better qualities than Greg Taylor. But on paper is not how it works, and it's very, for me, it'll be very difficult to replace what he's brought. But I'm not saying it's impossible.
See, to be honest, mate, I think you could go through 1 to 10. Outweigh James Forrest, obviously, in terms of everything that he's done at the club, being obviously that just kind of shy of legend status. He's in there the new. You've got him at the other, the winger at the other side. Sorry, but you could go through like Joe Hart. I mean, we had the discussion about Scales. Should he start or should he be dropped for the remainder of the season? And I say they should be dropped, but the kind of unanimous vote was that he should stay in the team. And you were right, he did stay in the team. And to be fair, he was good last week. Carter Vickers is a no-brainer. Johnson has been good. You get into the 3 in the middle, and then you've got Forrest and Kyogo. You could get through 1 to 10 there, and you could probably state that same argument. And I just think if you're signing a backup striker, or you're signing a first choice left back, or you're signing a new goalkeeper, or a second, maybe not so much a second choice goalkeeper, but there's risk attached to every single signing that you make. So if we went through that team the new and said, right, Greg Taylor needs replaced, we'd like somebody to take Liam Scales' place, we'd like somebody to take, realistically, probably James Forrest's starting berth for next season, there's going to be risks attached to all that, because they've all either at times in their career been very, very good for Celtic, or in James Forrest's case, over a number of years achieved just shy of legend status with their trophy haul and the goals that they've scored. So I just think you could go through that for every signing 1 to 10, and it would be there.
I never said it was a risk.
No, but you're saying that it'd be hard to sign somebody to come in and take that place.
Well, I mean, we've got a goalie there, right, who's obviously not going to be there, right? But for me, there's guys who are easily replaceable in that team, right? Guys that who most of them came in the summer, right? But there's a handful of guys who are very difficult to replace. And for me, that is Carter Vickers, because of the sort of, before I say who, because of the sort of where we are in the food chain, if you like, and where we play and the market that we're in generally. We know that the market we've been in isn't the market that we should be in, but the market you want us to be in, which is that 7 to, I don't know, 6 to 8 million bracket maybe, right? But there's guys that are easily replaceable, but the guys that are more difficult to replace for me are Carter Vickers, Alistair Johnson, Greg Taylor, Cal McGregor, Hatate, Matt O'Reilly, and probably Kyogo. That's 7 players for 11 who are more difficult to replace because of the level that. Aye, but for the level that they've brought in their time at Celtic, I think they guys are difficult to replace for a Celtic team and the food chain and the market we're in. I think they guys are difficult to replace. But then there's other guys within the squad and within who dip in and out of that starting 11. Even Meada actually as well at a push. I know. Listen, he's no the most technical, but what he brings to the team is invaluable. So that's another one that I would say is probably quite difficult to replace. But you would probably then say that maybe a Greg Taylor, maybe a Meada are slightly less difficult to replace than the other ones I've mentioned. But it's not a risk. It's none of, I'm not saying any. It's a risk. Just it's, more difficult.
Yeah, and to be fair, positions on the pitch are hard to fill. Patrick McLaughlin comes in. Nice wee segue, Patrick. Have any of us heard about the link, James, about the fellow goalkeeper who is on loan to Exeter City? He's a Finnish lad with 2 caps. His name is Sensialo. I'm going to butcher this again. Sensialo. He's a goalkeeper. A position we know is going to be up for grabs. He's 22. I think he has the highest save percentage in League One for Exeter City. He's got something like 16 clean sheets in League One as well. He looks like he's a progressive goalkeeper, a sweeper keeper type, and that's probably what Rodgers wants. And we know he took a fancy to Scott Bain at the time when he was Celtic manager. But these links to the goalkeepers will change, they'll chop, and they'll vary week on week. We were linked with a Turkish one. We were linked with Kevin Kelleher at Liverpool. That's not going to happen. They want 20 million quid. We were linked with various other different goalkeepers, but this is the latest link. And it is encouraging that these links are coming out. It means we're actively looking. You can't make up 10 or so rumours about goalkeepers, so there has to be something cooking in the fire here, so to speak, James. And look, we don't know much about this young kid. He's 22, as I said, 2 caps for Finland. He's a fellow goalkeeper, but a loan to Exeter City. Would he be coming in as first choice, do you think? Would he be coming in as second choice? I mean, we don't know, but it is encouraging that the goalkeeper position is actively being chased after now.
Aye. The first I'd actually seen his name was when you put it in the group chat earlier. I couldn't tell you anything about him. The last goalkeeper I seen linked was Begovic the other day, but I couldn't tell you anything about the goalkeeper.
Would you take Begovic?
No, probably no. I think look, with a goalkeeper, I think in an ideal world you'd be signing somebody probably around about maybe 30-ish, that kind of experience, but still be plenty left for a goalkeeper. Like we've done in the past, that maybe a wee bit older with like Joe Hart, but I think signing Begovic is probably just kicking the can down the road for next season or the season after. As I say, I can't say obviously 22 is quite young for a goalkeeper to come in and be number one, but I can't say good or bad because I've literally seen the guy's name and I couldn't tell you a thing about him apart from that.
Well, I don't think any of us could, but it's a link, Ross, isn't it? And like what James was saying, it was Begovic last week, it was Kevin Kelleher, it was the Turkish goalkeeper who is the number one for Turkey. And it is, for me, it is a good sign that we're looking. And Anthony said about the disrespect that Taylor gets. No, that's fair enough. I don't think it's from us, though. But the Joe Hart thing, and look, we look at Scott Bain, we look at Siegrist. I would say Siegrist and Joe Hart are away. So I think Celtic would need to sign 2 goalkeepers, a first choice and a second choice. Would you be along them lines of thinking?
Well, I mean, certainly a first choice. We've had Scott Bain as our second choice this season. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's going to be tough unless they bring. They're not going to bring in 2 goalkeepers and let them go at it. They'll put an outlay in a keeper and then maybe bring somebody else in that's what they perceive as a level sort of down. But listen, you're saying they're actively looking for a keeper. I fucking hope so. Do you know what I mean? Because Joe Hart's gone. The end of the season is definite. It's set in stone. If they're no looking for a goalkeeper actively right now, then what the fuck are we doing, man?
Paul McFarland, sign Ross. He's a keeper, or so we hear.
But I was all right. I was a really good goalie in the 5-a-sides. But as I tell you, I'm vertically challenged. It would be like watching a women's game, man. You just kick it high, and that'd be it.
There's fucking any other cool on the phone.
An assumption.
Is it worse than me? I feel like I get the piss took out of me for the way I pronounce things all the time. To be fair,
No, it's so bad how she says assumption. Like
it's 5-3 to you, James, isn't it? In this quiz or in this kind of round so far, isn't it? Someone back me up on this quickly.
That is 5-3.
I thought it was 6-3, but all right.
We're going to break it up. We're going to break it up a wee bit again, okay? Before we move on to the Hearts game, go to the general knowledge quiz because I think sometimes I regurgitate football questions and it gets a bit repetitive. So we're going to do something different, okay? So it's 5-3 to James, right? We're going to start off the questions 1 again because this is questions here, so that's why the score's different. So question 1, and just shout it out. Comments off, James. You're looking down at your phone again. I don't like it. Ross, I trust you. Ross, I trust you. Your comments. I mean, if you see what Monty was saying about you, but sure, it doesn't matter.
He butchers me. I just put the comments off. I wasn't want to get a complex.
Right. Question 1. At the moment, it's 5-3 to James. So keep that in mind if I mess up the scores here. What country has the highest life expectancy?
China.
Wrong.
James. I'm going to go South America. I'll go Argentina.
It was Hong Kong. So you've both got that wrong.
Hong Kong's not a country.
Well, this is what it says in my quiz. Hong Kong is a country.
Where is Hong Kong? Where's Hong Kong?
I don't know where Hong Kong is. Japan? China?
Fucking China. Japan?
I can't give you. I can't give you. It's Hong Kong, right?
Fucking Hong Kong, man.
That's just saying a complex here.
Question here, like.
Question 2, still 5-3 to James. Where would you be if you were standing on the Spanish steps?
This is a QI question, isn't it? Nobody's going to say
it.
Outside Burger King.
Barcelona.
Nope.
Is that a country you're looking for?
Defaulters then.
It's either going to be a city in Spain, but I think that's a country, so I'm going to go France.
No, it was in fact Rome. I think Rome is in Italy. It is, isn't it? There you go. Celtic 67. She knows it like 100%. Look at that. Celtic 88. Strange love. These are thick as champ, by the way. Thick as champ. Both of you is wrong.
The questions just haven't fell my way so far.
Question 3. Still 5-3 to James due to the Who Am I round and the missing headline. Fill in the blank. Right. Question 3. Which language has the more native speakers? English or Spanish?
English.
Ross, what do you think it is?
Oh, I'm going to have to say Spanish.
It is, in fact, Spanish. It's 5-4.
Oh. I knew that.
Question. Right, hold on. I'll just do it in order because right. Question 4. What is the most common surname in the United States?
Fucking hell, man.
This is class, isn't it? This is all. I'm loving this tonight. I'm just loving this. It's good crack. Look at this. They all know their stuff.
The most common surname in the United States.
I mean, Sanfran, that's a great guess, by the way. Great guess, but it's not that.
Smith.
James, see, this is the thing, right? This is the thing where I have major trust issues with you, right? You look down at your phone, you done a wee smile.
Sitting fucking right there.
You done a wee smile and went, Smith. It is Smith, right? It's Smith, right? It's 6-4.
I was going to say Hogan. I was going to say Hogan.
And that's the wrestler, mate. 6-4. Right.
Chad Hogan.
Well, when we get to 10, we'll end this one. We'll do a quiz near the end, okay? So we'll get to 10.
My phone in my fucking head or something here.
Put your phone. Keister. No, we're going to wait Yeah, first to 10, and then we'll put a pin in it, and then we'll have
what is
another
it,
quiz at the end. 6-4 to James.
6-4.
Right. Question 5. What disease commonly spreads on pirate ships?
Scurvy.
Wow. 7-4. Ross, you're having a nightmare, by the way. Nightmare.
I mean, I just didn't get the answer. James
See how
Kenzo.
fucking fast I googled that, there, Ross.
Alexa's on in the back. You've got in your earpiece or something. Sam from 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Brilliant. Right. Question 6. Who was the ancient Greek god of the sun?
Zeus.
Apollo.
James, I swear. You need to stop
Are
me.
you right again?
It's too quick. It's too quick. 8-4.
Fucking clever cunt,
Fucking
man.
hell, man. He is, by the way.
Question 7. What was the name of the crime boss who was the head of the feared Chicago outfit?
John Gotti.
Not a chance.
That's a mafia.
Fucking Tony Montana.
Nope. It was Al Capone.
Oh, fuck. Aye.
Oh, well.
Fucking.
There's San Fran.
That, man,
Got it
that's a
right.
joke.
Celt idiot. I got an STD and a cruise to Santander once. I mean, that's unfortunate. But that's really unfortunate.
What's the score? 8-4?
8-4.
8-4.
Right. Question 8. What year was the United Nations established? This is easy, by the way. What? No?
I don't know.
What did you
I
say?
give a fuck. 1984.
1984. What do you mean you don't give a fuck? This is a great quiz hosted by an absolute genius. And this is what the crack is.
The way he said
Fucking
that was
Stephen
as if you
Mulhern.
were miles it, so I'll go 19 whenever the war ended. When did the war end? I don't know.
The Irish War or the World War?
46, aye. 1946.
It was 1945. These are all wrong. These are all
I'm
wrong.
not getting that
It's
flipping one
8-4.
away. That's scandalous.
Paul McFarlane saying it's 9-4. It's 8-4. I'm sticking with 8-4. Can't be 9-4. I didn't miss that. Right. Question 9. Who has won the most total Academy Awards? Yes. Who's the snitch? You're 100% stuffed at you in.
Michael Douglas.
Nope. James.
Steven Spielberg.
Nope, it was Walt Disney. So, question 10, 8-4.
What's the difference between Patsy Kensit and Walt Disney?
Patsy
What?
Kensit and Walt Disney.
Oh, you're a bunch of... See, it's not even... It's not real words. It's not even real words. It's incredible. So it is. Words from Stormy Daniels. There we go. Self-idiot. It was Walt Disney indeed. Right. Question 10. How many minutes are in a full week?
Foxtrot.
Lads, I can do this all night. I'm having a fucking belting time here. Unbelievable. Evening, Stephen, buddy. Great to have you along.
13,462.
I'll do closest to, so we'll go with that first one. Go ahead, James.
Lower.
Can't just say lower.
What did you say?
I'll do closest to.
462.
13,461.
See, for being a prick, Ross gets the point. 8-5. The right answer was 10,080. There we go.
There we
right?
go. That's me.
Yeah.
You've already cheated out 2 points. In.
No,
Aye.
8-5. 8-5. You were trying to be smart. You cannot be smart, James. Come on. Right. Question 11. What car manufacturer had the highest revenue in 2020? And again, in the comments, it's just a general knowledge quiz. We've been talking Celtic, wee bit of a laugh.
Mercedes.
Absolutely no. How many people do you think can afford damn cars? Come on, James. Ross, what about yourself? It was not a Tesla, your man. No, it
I
wasn't
never
that
even
either.
heard what he said. Off road.
Oh.
He's there.
Are you back, Ross? Are you in?
I think I disconnected as well.
Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Aye, right. So James said.
I can hear you.
James said Mercedes.
Now,
Mercedes.
Did you not hear what I said before, James?
No.
I said Jaguar.
Hold right. Let's park the bus a wee second. What car manufacturer had the highest revenue? Right. You have said Mercedes and a Jaguar. Unless you're on a fucking decent wage, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Skoda.
All right.
No, Ross.
Volkswagen.
Bang! Volkswagen. There we go. 8-6. Question 12. How many elements are in the periodic table? Well, Stephen, you must be minted. I drive a Peugeot, so there you go. But good car. Good choice.
12. Could be well
Right.
wrong.
Can I say higher and just win that? Because
No.
I'm told between saying 50 odd or 113, I think. I'm going to go. I'll go
12.
113.
I'll give you it. It was 118, but I'll give you it. So it's 9-6.
I wasn't
So it
far
is.
away. I meant to say
Question-
112, but it froze a wee bit there when I was saying it.
Oh my god, hold on actually. Question 13, isn't it now? I think so. How many ghosts chase Pac-Man at the start of each game?
Fucking hell. 6.
Did none of you play Pac-Man? No, it wasn't
Aye,
6.
but I mean, for God's sake. I'm going to say 2.
Nah, I can't give you. It was 4. It was 4, so it was.
No, you can't give me it because it was wrong.
Question.
Doesn't stop him another time, fuck's sake.
Question. Lads, I'm trying to hold in a pish and do this at the same time. Please stop. Question 14. And it's 9-6 to James. What character have both Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumbersnatch played?
Sherlock Holmes.
Bang! Great shout, buddy. 9-7. 9-7. Right, question 15. What country drinks the most coffee per capita?
America.
Nope. So per capita, no way Scotland have the highest attendance per capita, but it's not really.
All right, aye.
Doesn't really look like that on TV.
Aye.
Colombia.
I'm going to say Italy.
No, it was Finland. Finland. Franny came in there with Colombia. Your man. Emerald abroad. Basically, you're close. I like that answer, Sweden. You thought outside the box. So did Patrick McLaughlin there with Iceland, but no. Close but no cigar. Right. So we're 9-6. 9-6, yeah. 2 James. Question 16. Which planet in the Milky Way is the hottest? And it's
Mars.
not me. I know you want to say that's not me. No, absolutely not Mars.
Not Mars.
Mercury.
No. Mars bar, eh? No, I'll give you one more guess. Ross?
Saturn.
Nope. James,
Jupiter.
one more. It was Venus. And Franny comes in and tells me it is 9-7. So it must be 9-7. Look, I have to go with Franny. It's 9-7 here.
That's what you just said, was it no?
I said 9-6, I
9-7.
think.
That's 9-7.
Right.
Should be 10 for Lord.
What?
Who's counting?
Question 16. What city is known as the Eternal City?
Rome.
Aye.
9-8. Here we go. Right. Question 17. What is the highest rated film on IMDb as of January 1st, 2022?
Highest rated.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, and it's going to sound mental, but I've just got a feeling that it's Barbie.
It's not Barbie. It's not Barbie.
I'm going to go a bit outside the box and say Casablanca.
It is not that. It was Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
Celtic 88 got that right. So he did.
There you go.
Question 18. It's 9-8. The James currently, when we get to 10, we'll stop and get back to Celtic chat. So if you lads want to hurry up. Let's see. Complete. Oh, shit. Right, okay. Complete the following lyrics. I should have changed that stupid lock.
I forgot.
No.
Stephen's
So,
asking
complete,
like the 1% question every time.
complete the following lyrics. I should have changed that stupid lock. What's after it?
Can we get a singer?
It doesn't give me a singer, to be fair. So, oh, Lindsay Greenwood has got it in the comments. Has got it in the comment. And if any is look, I'll know. James,
Funny.
eyes on me, please. Ross,
I
let's
don't
go.
know. I don't know.
We're only cheating ourselves if we look.
I
We're on a
Just give
Celtic
up?
podcast, not a Rangers podcast.
I left 3 questions blank last week and got accused of Googling.
Just give up.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Lindsay Greenwood, I should have made you leave your key. Lindsay, who sings that song? James wants to know. He wants to
I
look
think
at that wee
I
number on
recognise that,
Spotify.
Marek.
I was going to say
So
that
it's not-
was
it's-
my guess as well.
It's 9-8. Craig Young, every drunk woman ever, is the singer. Right. Question 18. Question 18. Right, hold on. What is a group of pandas known as? No, it's not Rangers coaching staff.
I was going to say St Mirren supporters.
The black and white reference. That's a good one. To be fair.
Pack.
No, it's not Pack. James, it's you.
Flock's birds, so it's no flock.
Aye.
A gaggle of pandas isn't right.
Celtic
Aye, it
idiot.
is. It is
Go on,
Gloria Gaynor.
son. Celtic idiot. Stephen Kennedy has it as well. Oh, we're banging here, like.
A young team
Not
of
literally.
pandas.
Not literally. I mean, in the comments.
Lindsay Greenwood is. That's right. Gloria Gaynor.
Oh,
She's bang on.
aye, fuck aye.
You give up. A group of pandas, as Celtic idiot said, is an embarrassment. And Stephen
So it
Kennedy
is.
said that it was
So it is.
9-8.
I have, aye.
9-8. That's just embarrassing, by the way. Right.
Aye, it is an embarrassment.
Question 19. What European country experienced the highest rate of population decline from 2015 to 2020?
For fuck's sake. What are we doing here?
All I want to do is get one of you to 10. I'm giving you easy questions. Come on.
Johnny obviously muted his telly when I said that.
I think we should be allowed to fucking Google it. And if we get the answer,
if you find the answer on Google within 10 seconds, you get the point. I can't even mind what the question was.
So, what European country experienced the highest rate of population decline from 2015 to 2020?
Scotland.
Poland.
No, it was in fact Lithuania. These were close, but
Oh, should
it
have known
happens like
that.
Right.
It was the Hearts in Scotland linked to the Lithuanians.
It
That
was.
what
Did you like it? Did you like it? I done that on purpose.
Aye, so you did.
Vladimir Romanov and the crew. But right, question 20. Who famously crossed the Alps with elephants on the way to war with the Romans?
Napoleon.
No. James, it's over to you. This is like the 1% Club. Lee Mack has nothing on me, by the way.
A fucking clue. Big fucking Rab McGraw.
It wasn't. It was, in fact, Hannibal. Strange Love got it. I mean, look at this. Stevie Boy, Maestro, Paul McFarlane.
Clever folk watching us.
And I'm stuck with you, Clampets. Right?
I feel as if I peaked too soon.
Right. Question 21, and we're still 9-8. And as I said, again, I'm going to repeat, once we get to 10, this is not my fault, people. Once we get to 10, we'll chat Celtic. So this is how it's going. What Netflix show had the most streaming views in 2021?
Breaking Bad.
Stranger Things. Oh,
Both wrong. Squid Games.
For fuck's sake, man.
Right, okay. 9-8. Okay. What software company is headquartered in Redmond, Washington?
Windows. Microsoft.
No, James, I have to go with your first answer. You got it wrong. It's over to Ross.
Come take it, day, man. Go for the tap in because he laughed. Go for it. Go for it. You fucking teed it up.
James. Honestly, like, I couldn't even tell you another software company.
Ross, what's your answer?
I'm going to say Google.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh no! Oh my God!
Can I come back in? Can I come back in?
Is it? No, is it Microsoft?
Yeah, but you can't get it no more because you both answered wrong.
I thought Windows Microsoft was the same company. I thought they were the same company. So how did you not get it?
Because he's a
fan. Here's the question. Let's look at the context of this, right? What software company is headquartered in Redmond, Washington? James, Windows. What the fuck's Windows? It's not a company. Microsoft is the company. And he got it wrong.
Microsoft Windows.
I thought it was a fucking double glazers.
Paul McFarlane, Ross, you plonker. Right, so
I've had one beer.
That's mad, by the way. Right, we'll have to go again here. Oh my God! Right.
Can I just fucking get back to the fact that what was it I said? And you said not. I need to give you or something, and I've just said Windows, and I'm not even getting fucking.
Okay, I can't believe it.
9-8. I think I was heavily biased towards Ross. It's not it, and I told you. When we get to 10, it's Celtic back again. That's all we need, lads. It's not tough. It's not tough, right? What is a group of cows called? No, sorry. What is a group of crows called?
A group of what?
Crows.
A hang with crows.
There's 3 people already in the chat. 4 people.
I think I know this, but I didn't know it was crows. And am I going to look like a pure fanny if I get it wrong? But is it a murder of crows?
It is, in fact, a murder of crows.
I've heard that. I don't know how I've heard that, but I've heard that before.
Well done. I'll get you.
He held the comments on, to be fair. Let's be honest.
Aye. Fucking 3.5 hours later, I thought, fuck, I'll stick.
Here, a lot of people. Look at this. I mean, we have some smart people on this chat tonight. That's class, by the way. Right, so we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back.
I didn't realise how sick I actually was. This has really been an eye opener for me tonight.
I didn't realise how thick Stephen was, to be fair.
Hold on a wee second, mate. You're running about going Windows. Fuck off. It's Microsoft. Are you joking?
I'll just be sitting in the living room later going...
We'll put a pin. It's 10-8 to James. We'll finish on 20. So, it'll be a good end of the show anyway. San Fran, Stephen will make a great cunty teacher. Well, you'd never know. Maybe it could. Stephen Kennedy. Google is smart. Yep. Don't know this reference. Jim Taggart helped me. I don't know.
Danny, is that the program?
What's the Partick Thistle Stadium? Firhill. I got to go to Firhill. There's been a murder. Isn't that the way it goes on?
I don't think he was Indian though.
Aye, there's been a murder in that accent.
There's been a murder in Mary Hill.
James, that's bogging. By the way, let's not do that again. Right, but we'll get back on the some Celtic chat here, right, Ross?
Thank the
And
Lord and his blessed mother.
You're keeping Gaff's target for the next time he hosts, by the way, man. Fucking hell.
Today, well, it wasn't today. I think it was yesterday, Ross. Moritz Jens, another person you're a big fan of. Fan of. What the fuck, right? You know what I mean, right? I don't know why my words sound so much up. He actually came out and said in an interview today he'd be open to Celtic return. Would you take the big fella back? I mean, if you look at it now, I mean, we're stuck with Welsh, Narga, Bialka, Narowski. Scales has obviously made the grade this season, but the rest of them, I mean, I think Jens is probably, would you say, better than likes of Narga, Bialka, and Narowski?
Well, we've not seen a great deal of they two. I still, what I had seen of Lagerbielke, I thought he looked okay. Listen, not the finished article, not absolutely outstanding, but okay. Any time he came in, I felt like he'd done his job. I don't know why he's not getting a look in. It's one of the ones. It's not quite as baffling as the Sviatchenko sort of issue with Brendan Rodgers, but it's up there with the amount of questions I've got towards it. But Moritz Jens for me came in, and I was a big advocate of playing him before Starfelt off the back of his performances. I felt like he was really good. He was certainly better than Starfelt at bringing the ball out. He was, for me, probably better than Carter Vickers at doing that, but I felt like him being able to do that allowed Carter Vickers to just be what he is, really good at, first and foremost, which is defending. But listen, for whatever reason, obviously we read the story, he had to go because his parent club was pushing for a fee and he wasn't playing at the time for Celtic, so you understand sort of why Celtic didn't stump up I think it was maybe, I can't mind what the fee was, but whatever it was, they didn't stump up the money for it because he wasn't even actually starting for us. I think it was quite a fairly high fee. But I mean, you look at the players we've got now and the trouble that we've had in that position, and I say trouble, that's probably really an unfair word to use considering how well over the piece Liam Scales has done. He has tailed off a wee bit. I think he's passing. Listen, his defensive qualities, for me, over the piece, they can't be in question. But it's his passing that I've got an issue with Liam Scales.
Yes,
it's actually it's getting really, it's glaring now how poor his passing is, and it's not all the time because he isn't making mistakes all the time, but he is making mistakes on occasion that I just don't want to see my centre half mating playing for Celtic against Dundee or against whoever, and then putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure. I think he looks even worse when he doesn't play alongside Carter Vickers, and I mean, any of them look worse when they don't play alongside him, but when he plays alongside Welsh, him and Welsh look absolutely horrendous together. They just pass ourselves in the cul-de-sacs, and it's horrible to watch. But Liam Scales, you would have to say, has done it over a full season for Celtic against Moritz Jens, who done it for maybe 6 months. You have to say, for the most part, he probably performed as well as Moritz Jens.
Do you think so?
I just, I mean, you have to concede that he probably has, but I just think that Moritz Jens looks, what I'd seen him in a Celtic jersey, he looks more assured and more cultured on the ball than what Liam Scales does. I would be open to having Moritz Jens coming back if that was on the cards in the summer, but it won't be on the cards in the summer because he is at Wolfsburg, I think, and he's quite settled there, and I don't think they're looking to sell or anything like that. I think it was just an interview he done, and he's talking about, and a lot further down the line in this summer that he would be open to coming back to Celtic, but I don't think it's on the table now.
Yeah, look, I get what you mean in terms of that. I think is what you say. It's probably lip service. Then he would love to go back to the club and all that, James. And and look, the whole Liam Scales Marie Chance thing. I think at one point Jens was keeping Starfelt out of the team. Do you know what I mean? So there was gravity behind him, and he did play well in the Celtic shirt when he appeared, and he had a couple of good games in European football as well. And Stephen Kennedy came in and came up with a WhatsApp rumor there. I don't know if you've seen the comment about Colin McGregor meant to be hanging up the boots. I've seen this quite a few times this week. I don't know where it came from, but it's one of these ones I don't want to pay too much attention to it because obviously Navas is confirmed and it's just speculation. But I hope that's not the case. But where are you on? Like, we'll throw in what Stephen Kennedy said, and also Marie Chance saying he wants to, or he would welcome the opportunity to come back to Celtic in the future.
No, I got that message as well. We were talking about it the other day. I don't see it happening. I think if it was through injury, then he wouldn't be playing the new. And I think if it was true, then we would have probably announced it because he deserves, obviously, a decent send-off. So I don't believe that at all, to be honest. The thing with Jens, probably wouldn't take him back. I don't think he'd come back. I don't think, as Ross says, it'll be on the table. I wasn't, when Starfelt was here, I wasn't Starfelt's biggest fan. To be honest, and Starfelt eventually seen Jens off. So in an ideal world, for me at least, I think I'd like to see better than the both of them. And I think obviously it will be a position that we do look to strengthen in the summer. I imagine with Scales signing his deal today, that'll probably spell the end Lager Bielka, definitely, but I think it'll also spell the end for Nawrocki. I don't think he's going to all of a sudden be our first choice starting centre back alongside Carter Vickers next year. So I think that'll spell the end for the both of them. And you'd like to think we'll get and sign a new centre back to play beside Carter Vickers.
Yeah, 100%. Probably not Phillips or one of them people that come back in again to play alongside him. But Ross, you were away there. Stephen Kennedy put in the chat. There's been a lot of rumours about Colin McGregor. I don't know if you've seen this. Obviously, WhatsApp rumours going around that he's meant to be hanging up the boots at the end of the season due to this injury. And I've seen it a few times, but I'm saying to James, I don't want to pay too much attention to it. But do you think there's any weight behind it, or is it just a rumour?
I would file that under bullshit.
Well, there we go. It's been filed under bullshit. One person that is not bullshit is Matt O'Reilly. Appeared in another staff in the Champions League, Ross. Played in the group stages and managed to find himself in the assist table at 9th place in company like Bellingham and Camavinga and players of that ilk. He still made an impact at that level. And then also seen today as well, and what a human being he is, by the way. He volunteers. He volunteers. You're laughing at me saying human being. He is a great human being.
I thought it was going to be a Brendan Rodgers reference, and then I realised what you were talking about.
No. He volunteers to play games with kids in hospitals and things like that in his spare time, which I think is just testament to him and his attitude and character. But look, Matt O'Reilly has been up and down this season. His ups have been really good. He's been plateauing a wee bit, but he seems to be coming back into form. And I think for me anyway, and I mean, the group stages, he still made an impact in the Champions League. And for this period of time, the 5 games or 4 games left, or whatever it may be, he will be pivotal. He's the guy who's played basically every minute of this season, and he's been fantastic the majority of the time.
I'd say I don't really know what the question is. If you want me to elaborate on Matt O'Reilly and what he's done, I don't know if you're talking about him possibly leaving in the summer or
a bit of both. I'm weighing him up as kind of impact and also the possibility he may be away as well. Like, that's what I'm trying to throw in there.
Aye. Well, his impact certainly at the start of the season was unbelievable. It was head and shoulders the best player in the team. And then, as you say, he sort of faded off a wee bit. But he's coming back into form just at the right time. I don't think his form is hitting the heights right now at what it did at the start of the season, but it's certainly it's certainly came up for what it was mid-season, as is a lot of other players around him, which helps. Plus, you're getting guys like Hatate in that back, which again helps him. There's not as much onus on him to be the main man, but he's done the business for us this season. In terms of whether he'll leave in the summer, I have said that it was almost an acceptance that he would leave. Sort of earlier in the season, and when he was linked to go to Atletico, but then obviously, as we've said there, his form kind of dipped a wee bit, and I'm looking at it again, going maybe teams like Atletico are looking at that and going, well, he's not performing just as well as he was in the Champions League, but for whatever reason, various different reasons. But I seen the other day there was, listen, it could be nonsense as well, but I seen a wee link to like Inter Milan kind of looking
Yeah,
up.
so did I.
Whether there's any truth in that or not, I don't know. Could they play at that level? Remains to be seen. He's a really cultured football player, and he's really confident. He does all the right things for to be able to take himself right to the top. I don't know if the interest will come in for him to leave in the summer, but if it does, for me, I don't think Matt O'Reilly is angling for a move away. You seen that extract? I think it was shared in our group chat about. I can't remember who was it. James Forrest he was talking to, maybe. I can't remember, but he was saying how that he was sort of really happy here, and it's a great club and stuff like that. And then even when Moritz Jens is talking, Matt O'Reilly had been saying, "This is what a place it is to play football and stuff like that." I'm paraphrasing there, obviously, but I don't think that Matt O'Reilly's the type, and I don't think he is like going into Rodgers and saying, "I want this move," and his head's been turned, and that's why he's form dipped and stuff like that. I think he's quite happy playing at Celtic. He knows he's at a big club, and he's committed to playing for us, and he loves playing for us. But I think if a club of the ilk, Atletico Madrid or an Inter Milan or something like that came in, I think it would be hard for Matt O'Reilly to not be interested in making that move. But I don't think right now he's making noises to leave, and I think that if the right offer does come in, whether Matt O'Reilly wants to leave or not, I think it will probably be taken out of his hands if the fee is right.
Yeah, that's the way it always goes. Once that transfer fee, and people are saying here he could break records as well, James. But before I do come to yourself, people are saying about the length of time we've been on. And by the way, thanks for everyone sticking with us. 114 people live at this present moment on X and YouTube. It's something that we do weekly. We just stay on and talk, and it flies in, and we have good crack, and it's good interaction, and we just love talking Celtic. It just happens all the time at every show. You think we'll run out of stuff to talk about, but it just snowballs into different things, and that's what I love about doing this podcast anyway. But James, you look at it, and like what Ross said, Matt O'Reilly doesn't strike you as a type that would be angling for a move away. I think his kind of credentials back that up. Obviously, leaving Fulham, training in the park by himself, going to MK Dons, and proving himself at that level, and then coming to us, and then Rodgers taking his game to the next level as well. So the writing's on the wall for me. He probably will leave. If Atletico were sniffed around in January, that caliber of club are going to get back again this summer, and it's all about how we get through that and replace him, in my opinion. And I think the blocks, the kind of the building blocks, should be in place already. And I can see you're nearly fading, but it's all good. But where do you stand? Where do you stand on the already situation? As long as Celtic have the person to come in to replace him, I think we should be okay.
I think it'll be certain to be away in the summer, regardless of kind of anything he says. I mean, all ex-players love it here, and players that is transferred. You hear that stuff all the time. But if the bid comes in, like Stephen says, it'll be taken out his horns. But I think his replacement might already be here. I know the talk on him's kind of died down in the last couple of weeks, but I think Bernardo, I don't even know why. I can't put my finger on it because he's not really featured a lot recently, but I think we'll sign him or possibly get another loan potentially with a obligation to buy maybe. But I think he'll come in. But as I say, I've seen in the group chat, if it was the option between the two, I would probably sway more towards either. I know a lot of people would sway towards Bernardo, which, to be honest, I don't really understand that. But where would you be with the Bernardo thing?
For me, I like Bernardo. I think I've been quite vocal on that. I think he's got a really high ceiling, potential, a higher ceiling than maybe Ida has. I would probably, I don't know if I would lean towards signing Bernardo over Ida, but if Matt O'Reilly goes, I think regardless, I think we have to sign Bernardo, albeit I still think we would need to sign somebody else. But I think regardless, we should sign Bernardo, just because either way, it'll either be that backup to Matt O'Reilly if he stays, or if we can get somebody the level of Matt O'Reilly, then he can still be that other body for the midfield. But I don't know, man. I'm just the last couple of Windies, I've been totally disillusioned by, and I've sat there and tried to defend the club and defend the signings and say let's not judge them. But I mean, as times went on now, it's difficult for me to sit here and say it's been fine, because it hasn't been. Far from it, and it needs to be better. And I really don't want to see us signing the type of signings that we've been bringing in the last two windows, and me having to. I'm just not going to sit there now and try and defend it. I'm just going to shut my mouth basically, because it's fucking draining, man. Like, because I now can understand where everybody's coming from. And I won't
after all this time.
No, but it's been proven
Yeah,
that they signings weren't good enough. Listen, you can still get deals done, and I don't, like Wally said, I don't care about the fee as long as they're quality. But right now, they've not been bringing in quality, and I just need them to bring in some quality players and get it right in this window, because the last two windows have been absolutely draining beyond belief. And actually, like, her group chat sometimes, and it's not a slant name day, but it is mentally, it makes you fucking mentally ill sometimes.
I can't believe it's only May. It's not even the summer yet, and we've already managed to drag you down to our level.
I get our group chat does get mental at points, but look, we'll kind of move on from the summer transfer window. We'll talk about current affairs. Ross will come back. Ross will come back to yourself. Liam Scales signed a 4-year deal today. And the day Celtic announced their season ticket renewals, I believe there's a 3% increase. I'm not really clued up on that. But in regards to the Liam Scales news, 4-year deal, I mean, Welsh got a 3-year deal last season, I believe, as well. Is this just the kind of the continuity side of things to have him around the team now? He has that experience, the exposure to the first team. Is that the building blocks for the future? Is he's going to be a squad player, so to speak?
Listen, he's not been a squad player this season. He's been the mainstay, even more so than Carter Vickers. But I think there's been mitigating factors as to why that's been. And as I've said previously in this podcast and in previous podcasts as well, he has done really well. But for me, I don't think they've been going to next season and the seasons going forward with Liam Scales as one of our first choice pairing for centre half. And that is no, listen, I think he would be a very good squad player. I think he's deserved his new deal because of what he's given us, which is he's been there over the course of a league campaign, and we're almost, listen, there's a long way to go still, but we're getting very close to getting that league title, and he has played a big part in that. So for that reason alone, he deserves that new deal. When you look at who else has had deals, like you alluded there, Stephen Welsh,
Ralston,
Anthony Ralston, after the season he had with Ange, he got a new deal. So he's fully deserving of a new deal, and I do not begrudge the guy at one iota. But for me, it's protecting our, for want of a better word, their asset, so that if he does sign, we can he does leave, then we can demand a better fee than what we would be able to demand that anyway off of the back of what the season he's given us. But it puts the club in a stronger position if they're dealing with other clubs if he's outgoing. But listen, Liam Scales is far from outgoing now. Please, Ross,
That timing
stop
was
ordering us
perfect.
to. Okay, mate. It's just a habit. It's just a habit. It's just everybody's got their wee
Listen,
nuances.
fucking listen.
But aye.
Listen.
He's totally cut me off now. I'll not be able to
You were
do
saying
this
about
now.
Scales. You were saying about Scales.
Aye, so basically, I don't begrudge the guy getting that deal, but
Yeah.
he cannot be part of the first choice pairing going forward. Aye, that's it. Didn't listen.
No, I get you. And who's this that comes in here? Let me see. Listen, But you look at it, James, as well, and look, Liam Scales has done a good job. He got rewarded with a 4-year deal, and I think I'm in agreement with Ross. He'd probably be good now to have around the team. He has that exposure, that experience, and can kind of see players through games and do you know what I mean, guide the youngsters, whoever's coming through to replace him and things of that nature. But people in the comments are saying Celtic will be ambitious, blah blah blah. Is this an ambitious move to you? Get Liam Scales tied down?
It's a awkward one because I kind of fall on both sides, to be honest. Look, I've in the past and at the time when it happened, I didn't agree with the Tony Ralston thing and the Stephen Welsh thing. But I've defended Welsh as well in the past. I've defended Scales probably longer than most this season. But by and large, recently the performances have taken a bit of a nosedive. To be fair, though, he did kind of bounce back a wee bit last week. I don't know, to be honest with you, because the Ralston thing, the Welsh thing, it's almost like I'm trying my best not to say purple patches, but I can't avoid saying it. But it feels as if they just have wee purple patches, and then we're giving them a contract off the back of it. And to a point, you've earned it, fair play. But see if Scales can't recover the form, and we're sitting in 2 years, and he's still got 2 years left in his deal, and realistically, he's never going to be it's similar to the Tony Ralston thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to want Tony Ralston in as your main right back, even as a backup for long spells. It would kind of cause concern for me. But even by that token, we never really seem to rotate him. I can't remember him playing recently, so that side kind of plays into it for me as well. But I think out of all our defenders this season, including Carter Vickers, obviously he's been injured for most of it, Liam Scales has been Celtic's best defender this season, and I don't really think that's arguable. He's played
Greg Taylor.
Well, in terms of centre backs, I mean, but, he's had different partners pretty much on a weekly basis at one point. He kind of, I think it was Rodgers himself that said earlier, he kind of felt a hole. He done as a turn earlier on in the season, and now we're getting bodies back. He's still there. And look, maybe last month or a few weeks ago, he was still there in merit. I think after the back of the Aberdeen game, he should have been dropped. I would have dropped him last week. But look, he bounced back last week, and he was solid enough. So hopefully he can get back to that form that we seen earlier in the season, and then the 4-year deal will look like a good investment. But I do get both sides. It's just the length of the deal. See, if it was maybe 2 years with the option of a third, let's be realistic. Liam Scales is never, you're saying about protecting their assets, I don't think Liam Scales is ever going to be one that's going to go for big money as such. So I don't know. As I say, he definitely deserves it, but I would just question the length of the deal, with it being 4 years, because I don't think he's ever going to be the man again. I don't think we're ever going to, in an ideal world, kind of have to rely on him for long spells.
Yeah. Liam Scales reminds me of Sheamus out of the WWE. I don't know if I need to get that, but he just reminds me of him, to be fair. Yeah.
You know
Where's
me and
Anthony when I need
wrestling,
him?
kid.
Where's Anthony? Where is he when I need him? And John. But yeah, I get what you mean. I think Safran made a great point earlier in the comments saying I could give him a confidence boost to kick him on to the end of the season, getting that 4-year deal. And yeah, he does deserve it. But I mean, the future will tell what the future holds for him in terms of a first team spot at Celtic, or like we're discussing here, a squad part. But look, before we come on to the Hearts game and score 9-up predictions to round off the podcast, we're going to dip back into the quiz.
Oh, for fuck's
So we
sake.
are. We're going to wake these two up. We're going to wake them up here, and it's 10-8. It's 10-8 to James, and look, it's first to 20. We're going to do a sprint, and we're just going to go at it here,
Hell, man.
right?
Fucking
Right, we're just going to go at it.
I'm back to work on Tuesday, man.
Well, I mean, if you get it done quick, it'll be over. There'll be no pain, right? So,
But is it just football or what?
no, it's general knowledge.
Oh, for fuck's trot.
Stop it. Right, comments off, right? Everyone off.
Aye,
Right.
they're off, aye.
First question is 10-8 to James. How many dots appear on a pair of dice? The silence is deadly. here.
21.
Thank you. Wrong. James, I'll do closest to. Exactly, Celt idiot. No quiz, no party. It's not 11. No way. It's not 21 either. It's a pair of dice, not a singular dice.
6, 11, 15,
A pair of
18,
dice.
20, 21,
Yeah.
42.
Boom. 42
Aye, like-
is correct.
I never heard
That's-
you saying pair.
11-8. Right, question 2.
Basically got it,
Which
you know
is-
what I mean?
Just game the point. Just game it.
Well, I'll
Half
tell
a
you who
point.
got it. Stevie Boy and Celtic 67 got it as well. Great shouts. Maestro's in there as well. Question 2. Which is the only body part that is fully grown from birth?
Uh-huh.
Your tinky winky.
eh,
Maestro, you should know the way I pronounce things is absolutely horrendous. So there you go.
is it? No,
It's not that's not a body part.
no.
Is it your
Eh,
Is it your eyes?
It's your eyes. Yep.
I've never
I was
thought
gonna-
that
Franny,
before.
Sam Fran's in. Paul McFarlane, we already did say it, to be fair. Well, I did quite loudly. But yeah, that's 12-8 to James. Look, this is quick. Right. Who performs the voice of Homer Simpson?
Hank Azaria.
Nope.
Fucking hate that program. Absolutely hate it.
This is your
Hate what?
Friends
The
as well.
Simpsons?
Fucking hell.
Simpsons.
And- Here, James, do you like Friends?
No, it's the most overrated
Friends is
program ever.
shite.
Because he's too young
Pish.
to remember it. That's what's wrong with us.
Friends
It's
and The
no-
Big Bang Theory. It's two of the
Oh,
most
the Big
overrated
Bang Theory
programs
is
gone.
horrendous, but Friends.
I like the Big Bang
unbelievable.
Theory. Fuck you, use me dicks. Right, so
Ah,
there's two
that's
people in the
right.
comments already who's got the answer. So who plays the
what is
voice
it?
of Homer Simpson?
It's
Who
one
plays
or
the
two.
voice of
That's-
Homer?
Get the other one.
Fuck
James,
it.
you're right.
I'm not gonna play.
Oh, can I not get another guest for the sake of fucking?
Go get one more
Monday
guess.
next
Go
Tuesday?
one more guess.
It's
one more
Dan
guess, go.
Castellina. It's either Hank Azaria or Dan Castellina because the other one's
It's Dan Casablanca. You're right. So it's 13-8, 100%.
Fucking hell, man.
Oh, right. Whoa, we're getting freaky. Right. How many hearts does an octopus have?
2,
2,
No,
3.
8.
it was 3. I can't give you, James. You're just shouting out answers now. Do you know what I
Do
mean?
you think?
That's
13,
that's
yeah.
what you do. That's how you play the game.
What phone company produced the 3310?
Nokia.
Nokia.
That's 14-8 to James.
You got in there first, like.
What planet is it? What planet is closest to the sun?
Mercury.
It wasn't Mercury. Yeah, it was Mercury. Great shout. That's why it's 14-8
9.
9. Yeah. Right. In what US state is the country's busiest airport located? You're
Los
in.
Angeles.
No idea who you are, James. It's over to you, Ross.
No idea who I am. What?
Don't know.
It's something we say over
What he's
here.
talking about. US state. Fuck knows, man.
It's a popular girl's name.
You help Ross again?
Indiana.
What the fuck? No, it was Georgia. It was Georgia.
Oh, right.
Right.
You were saying you were talking to Indiana the other day, weren't you, Ross?
Right. So it's 14-9. 14-9. What is the only continent with land in all 4 hemispheres?
Asia.
Who?
Asia.
No, it's not Asia. No.
Africa.
Great shout, San Fran. Africa is right, so it's 14-10. Brilliant. Which river flows through the Grand Canyon?
Oh. The. Oh, the. Does it start?
And he's ever been to the Grand Canyon, though.
No. Is it the?
Oh, la 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 la.
I've got an inclination
I never
for
seen
the
it.
Colorado River. Neither did I.
Yep, it was in fact the Colorado River, James, because you've seen the comment. So it's
my comments are turned off, mate. I never.
15-10. 15-10. Right. Where is Angels? Hold on. Where is Angel Falls, the world's largest waterfall, located?
Canada.
Nope.
Brazil.
Oh, is it New Zealand?
No, Venezuela.
That's next to Brazil.
Listen, it's 15-10, right? We're having good fun here. It's up to 20. What is the smallest US state by area?
Iowa.
No.
Is that a girl's name?
No.
Maine. Is Maine a state?
No, Rhode Island. Rhode Island. Right, do you know what it is? We're getting into we're in the sports questions, so hopefully you
Right.
get something here. This is embarrassing.
Okay.
Right. And
What is
Celtic,
it,
it's not a load of shite. We're all having drinks and that, having fun. Right? 100%. It's Rhode
15-10?
Island. 15-10. Ross is perked up. You ready? What does FIFA stand for in English?
You've done this.
You have.
Well, get it then.
Federation of International Association Football or something.
Wrong. Ross.
Federation International. No, Football International Federation Association.
No, because you done
Nope.
this the last time and it wasn't FIFA. It was like FIAF or
Corruption.
FIA or something.
Corruption.
Fuck.
No, it was in fact International Federation of Association Football. So he's both got it wrong. Right. Who is the world's highest paid athlete? So who was the world's highest paid athlete in 2021?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
2021.
Great shout, Stephen. Good answer.
LeBron James.
Conor McGregor.
Oh,
Right. So it's still 15-10. In what city is the NFL Hall of Fame located?
New York.
Nope. Great shout, San Fran. Franny, great shout, buddy.
Kyogo.
I don't know.
It
Los
was
Angeles.
Ohio. It was. Okay. I mean, lads, this is bad, by the way. It's incredible how thick yous are. It's madness, right? So
Aye.
still 15-10. We're nearly 4 hours in. Simone Biles is famous for her skill in what sport?
Ice skating.
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics it is. It's 15-11. Yes. Where does the Tour de France finish each year?
Paris.
15-12. Great shout.
If this
What is the
becomes
difference?
15 each, I'm starting to help Ross.
What is the difference between the skeleton and the luge?
People-
the luge you lie on your back.
No.
Yeah.
You're both wrong. Okay.
What did you say, James?
I thought that one of them was two people and one of them was just a baking tray and you were lying in your back.
Do you know why I was freaked out? Because the answer's in French and I can't read it. Right.
All right.
So it's 15-12. What was the first name of Argentinian soccer star Maradona?
Diego.
Yeah, 16-12.
Mm.
Right. I'll do this in feet. So the height's in feet. Closest to wins it. What height is a regulation NBA basket? And I do realise I said soccer, but it's on the question. Don't shoot me.
I'm going to say 13 feet.
I would have said lower. I'll go 11.
James, you get it. It was 10 feet. Let me see who. Sam Frank got that. Celt was close with 9. Celtic just off it. Franny, don't know who you are, buddy, but Jesus, they're not shooting up a building.
Yeah.
Don't mean. But Stephen Kennedy.
I mean, that's something else in America.
Right, so 17-12. What is the
17-12,
national?
I was coming back here.
What is the national sport of Japan?
Sumo.
Table tennis.
Sumo wrestling. 18-12.
Ah, well done, James. Aye.
What sporting event has a strict dress code of all white?
Wimbledon.
Tennis.
Ross, I heard you first.
The answer is Wimbledon.
18-13.
Isn't it
It's
tennis? No, but it
It's
isn't though,
tennis.
because you can go to the
Aye,
French
but
Open
he
and play
said
whatever you
he
want.
said what sport, not what
Well, the
competition.
question is
Tennis.
incorrect. The answer is Wimbledon.
It is, but
it's tennis.
that wasn't what he asked.
18-13. 18-13. Right? And it wasn't Wimbledon. I don't know where you're getting that from. Celtic 8, Defo fencing. Right, that's fair enough. Right. Where is fuck that, hold on. Which Disney movie has had the most sequels?
Despicable Me.
Oh, it's not even a Disney film.
No, Ross, sorry, no.
Oh no.
What is it again? 18. What is it? 18-13?
18-13, I think I
Yeah.
know what it is, but
I was going to say Toy Story, but I don't think
Aye.
it's on Disney Plus, so go with Toy Story.
that's what it is. I
Toy
think.
Story is correct.
Right,
19-13.
that was my
That's the
next
one.
guess.
Right. James, you can get this here. What character have both Glenn Close and Emma Stone played? Franny, your head is mincemeat. What the hell are you talking? Pirates of the Caribbean.
That is Disney, I think.
How many sequels does that
character
have?
has
2?
Glenn?
No, there's a few.
5, I think. What was the question? What
What character
characters
have both Glenn Close and Emma Stone played?
fuck this.
I don't know. I'm terrible with
Her for
actors.
the Notebook.
Her from the Notebook.
I don't even think she was
Oh,
in
dear.
that. I think it was somebody else.
It was, in fact, Cruella de Vil.
You know, honestly,
What?
hand in heart, I was genuinely going to say that, and it just
No, you weren't. Definitely
pulled
weren't.
my arse from anywhere, honestly.
Right.
Honestly, God, honestly.
Pinky promise.
What color are Mickey Mouse's shoes?
White.
Red.
Both
Yellow.
wrong. Yellow. Yeah. I'll give you 18-14.
1914.
1914. Right. Fuck me. How many Academy Awards for Best Original Song has Disney won?
I'm glad we went on to the sports questions, by the way. Fucking
I
hell.
know,
You
eh?
fucked them up. You got them all wrong. It wasn't my fault.
How many Academy Awards has Disney what?
How many Academy Awards for Best Original Song has Disney won?
7.
Nope.
12.
Nope. It was in fact 14. Let me see. So it's 1914. I'll Make a Man Out of You is a song from which movie?
I'll make a man out of you. Fuck knows. Sleepless in Seattle.
No, it's a cartoon. This is going to do my tits in if I get it wrong. Is it
Have you got
Mulan?
titties? Is it what, sorry?
What?
Mulan.
You are correct. Well done,
Well done.
James. 2014. By the way, what an effort.
Well done.
And everyone in the comments getting involved. 120 people, 2 hours, 40 minutes in, are watching us. And I think that's cracking. Stephen Kennedy got it right. We'll round off the podcast, James. Meada is back in the team, full training, pictures of him. He's running about the grass. Know that famous saying, he's on the grass. Hearts are visiting Parkhead tomorrow. Give me your thoughts. Give me your score. Give me your lineup prediction. Let's go.
I think it'll be the same team as last week. I think Meada will come off the bench. I think the game either goes 1 or 2 wide. Easy for me to say. 1 or 2
Wise.
where it's either really close, really tight, and it's a scrappy 2-1, or we go and we romp it 4 or 5-0.
What's your thoughts on the game, though? Any trepidations, any worries? I mean, Hearts have had our number
You'd like to think that plays into the kind of mindset. I want to go out and kind of wipe the floor with them. So I'll go 4-0. I think it'll be a cracking atmosphere, obviously knowing what's on the line the following week potentially. So I hopefully we come out and just blow them away. But I'm quite looking forward to it. It'll be a kind of cup final atmosphere, I imagine.
I think tomorrow will be rocking. I'm Ross at Parkhead, to be fair. I mean, I think the last time we played Hearts at home, we were over for the Christmas party, remember? And we got beat that day 2-0. It was absolutely depressing in the apartment that we were in. And the picker moods back up, we turned to drink and got pissed. It was good crack anyway. But where are you standing in this game? I mean, like James said, we should be looking at this as like a conquer all attitude, divide and conquer, go out there, redemption, and just blow them away. I think we're due a big win, and hopefully it's tomorrow.
Well, I don't think we can go into that game and have a mentality like revenge. I don't think that's the right way to go into it. I think it's just go out. You're going for the 3 points. It's another 3 points on the way to the title, and that is it. If you get the win, then you call it redemption after that, if you like. But I'm much like James. We'll either go out there and it'll be a tight, scrappy affair where we'll not get going. We'll maybe just get over the line, or we'll blow them off the park. My trepidation is that Shankland will go for fucking Bio or somebody like that the other week in this semi-final to being R9, prime R9, because as he does against Celtic, he just turns into a different specimen. He's totally made up for it. But if we play to the best of our ability, which that's the trepidation, because obviously for what we've been up doing all season, and even the last few games we've got over the line, but we haven't been brilliant. But if we play at the level, we'll win the game. But I think the fans are going to play a massive part. Brendan Rodgers sort of alluded to that the day in his press conference, that the big difference in what's helped us, even when we're not playing well, but still just get the result, is the connection between the fans and the team. And it's all there now because we're all pushing in that one direction. how close it is to the league title, and it's the business end of the season. We've got an opportunity to win 2 trophies, and everything else, as much as we've spoke about all the other things the night, is on the back burner, and we're all together, and it makes a massive difference. And I think that obviously the players have to play their part and, give the fans something to feed off of. But I think we have to create a similar atmosphere to the night when we beat Rangers 3-0 in the night game. Albeit there was no Rangers fans in the ground, there will be Hearts fans in the ground, but there won't be many Hearts fans in the ground. I think we have to sort of try and bottle that and bring that atmosphere for the crowd to push the team on. And if that happens, then I fully believe that we'll get the win that we so desperately need. Well, not desperately need, but you know what I mean.
Well, every game till now, the end of the season is the cup final, plus the cup final we're in the Scottish Cup as well. Do you know what I mean? So every game's vital, every point, every victory will end. Well, I mean, the point total towards the end of the season, and at the minute we're 3 points ahead, and let's hope it stays like that. And look, I just want to reiterate something, by the way. The support and the interaction we're getting in the comments is fantastic tonight. They want us to stay on for 4 hours, but look, we've been on for nearly 3, and I've had a cracking time talking to you all. And look, any new faces, and if you want to share us around, please do like and subscribe. I mean, let's head towards that 2K mark. Would be absolutely fantastic if we'd even get near that. Do you know what I mean? But we do appreciate the support we've been given, and it's fantastic to see so many people returning and talk to us week in, week out. It's brilliant. And in terms of the SPFL predictor table, look, I haven't got time during the week to make graphics to certain things, but the table as it stands at this moment in time is James is top with 90 points, Ross is behind him at 83, Gavin 74, McGinty 67, Willie 66, quite tight, Franny 64, Jed 55, myself 50, and Anthony Dunn is 46. That'll all be refreshed for the double pivot next week. It obviously was off during the middle of the week there, but brings us to the end of the podcast. Have you enjoyed it?
Yep.
James, what about yourself, buddy?
It's been a good laugh, man. Been a good laugh. Don't get me wrong. I think I've fucking get off and then slipped into a coma. I've been up for fucking 5 o'clock this morning. But
I do apologise. But it's been good crack, to be fair, and everyone's still buzzing and wants us to continue. But look, we'll be back again on Monday with the usual Monday team. And until then, let's have a good weekend. Let's hope we scalp them tomorrow with a healthy victory and keep that 3-point lead intact. But we'll see you Monday. Stay well. Keep safe. Hail, hail.